The southern Arizona city of Tucson, a little spring training baseball 2009 Cactus League style. We are still searching for our first cloud of spring training. I haven't seen many. High Corbett Field this afternoon sold out as the Rockies welcome in the Chicago Cubs. And good afternoon, everybody. Glad you're along. As always, I'm Drew Goodman. In 16 days, the Rockies will open up Wrigley Field this year against the Cubs on the north side of Chicago. In 9 days, they open up the regular season north of here in Phoenix against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And in the waning days of spring training today, you will see the A lineup for the Colorado Rockies, save Brad Hopp. Let me bring in my partner, George Frazier. How you doing?
Oh, great. It's great to be back. You know, when you smell that fresh cut grass and you hear the boys, you know it's springtime.
Absolutely. And today, a lot of the A players on display, and you'll see them for a fairly extended period of time, George.
Well, it's that time.
Yeah, it's getting that time.
Well, it's that time of the year, Drew. They've got to extend. They've got to be able to get in at least 7 innings of play in a ball game to get your body used to that long term of what you're doing, the 3-hour ball games that you're going to have to put up with. And one guy in this lineup that has been most impressive has been Ryan Spilborghs.
Yeah, no question about it. He's hit 4 home runs. He's second on the club with 14 RBIs. And, George, he has played with a heavy heart all spring. A couple of weeks ago, he lost his mom after a lengthy illness. He's been back and forth to Southern California. But his play on the field, not surprisingly, has been outstanding.
Well, and you would expect that from Ryan Spilborghs, the type of player and a person that he is. And the baseball field, and all of us have had losses. And I've had them, you've had them, everybody's had a loss. But the baseball field is more of his sanctuary, his freedom to go out and hopefully take his mind off of a heavy heart. I saw his father here at the ballpark earlier today that's sharing the experiences, and I said to him, it's always fun to watch him play, but it's more fun when it's yours.
Yeah, and the last time we saw him on the tube, he hit a long home run to right center field. I mean, he has showed incredible pop to center and right center this year, so he's enjoying a great spring, and he'll be in the leadoff role this afternoon. When we come back, we'll talk pitching. Tulowitzki, Helton, Ian Stewart, Seth Smith, they'll all be out there when we come back to High Corbett Field in Tucson.
We introduced Hyundai Assurance Plus to let people know we're all in this together. If you lose your income, you can hold on to your car and we'll make your payments for 3 months. And if that's not enough time to work things out, you can still bring the car back with no impact on your credit.
Right now, buy any new Hyundai and get up to $6,000 in savings. Plus, just announced an additional $750 bonus cash. Hurry to your Colorado Hyundai dealers. This offer ends soon.
Opening day is going to be hot as the Rockies take on division rival Arizona in the desert.
Strike 3.
Chulo, Hall, and Cook want to taste the champagne of victory again this October. The Rockies need to start strong this year, and there's no better way than a division win on opening day.
Deep off the bat of Barnes. Did he get it? You bet he did.
Be there as the Rockies open the 2009 season in Arizona. Presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Coverage begins April 6th at 12:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Every score, every highlight. It's the final score. 30 minutes every night of the week, bringing you all the action from the world of sports. It's the one show where serious sports fans go for serious sports highlights. The final score, weeknights.
Every night, there's just one place to be. The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the world's greatest late-night sports show is just getting started. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights.
I am change, and I got your back. When school is hard, when life is hard, when talking about it is really hard. Because I am changed. I'm here. and I'm not going anywhere.
People look at you. They stare. They point at you. They shout things. They make you feel different. It's fantastic.
Please give on line 36 of your state tax form.
The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. Weeknights.
Gorgeous views everywhere you look. Down in Tucson, Arizona, waning days of spring training 2009. Tulowitzki fan, a Spilborghs fan. There are plenty of those in the house this afternoon. Back with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. We talk pitching. Ubaldo Jimenez will be the #2 starter for the Rockies against the #2 starter for the Cubs, Ryan Dempster, who was terrific last year.
Well, he was terrific, and a lot of that is the ground ball outs that he's able to produce. He does an awful lot of that. He likes to shorten up, work deep in ball games. He does a great job with that. Of course, Ubaldo found himself, folks. I mean, at the back half of the season, he was probably one of the most dominant right-handed pitchers in all of baseball. And on Monday, when he went out against the Milwaukee Brewers, I felt like he really hit his spots well. He utilized everything that he had in his repertoire. He threw a changeup. He had the slider down and away. And obviously, he had the good heat. Created a lot of movement on his fastball, which created a lot of double plays. Shorten up innings the most you can. When you have that kind of stuff, a lot of times you want to try to overthrow. You want to have an awful lot of strikeouts because you know you have that 95-mile-an-hour weapon. But it's better to see him in the 7th and 8th inning than to go 6 and have 120 pitches.
It's interesting to watch how his confidence continues to grow, and it's not just what he did last year. Even spring training this year, World Baseball Classic, his confidence has grown and grown, and he has top-shelf ability. We'll see him this afternoon. In fact, you'll see him when we come back to High Corbin Field. Rockies and Cubs on a beautiful Tucson afternoon.
Craving some green chili? Then Santiago's Mexican restaurants can help you through. Serving the best Mexican food in their very own green chili that's authentic, affordable, and always fresh. There's a reason Santiago's has grown to serve 20 locations all over Colorado. It's the best. So stop by for their breakfast burritos and dinner entrees. They promise you'll be back for their green chili. Get your fix. Hot, mild, or half and half. It's a Santiago's thing.
Daddy, what this thing you're doing is not at the Rockies games.
Hello? Hello?
Dude, I need these by 10.
I got the new Comcast HD Triple Play, and I got free HD.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just had to tell somebody. Faster internet, unlimited calling, most HD anytime I want.
It's pretty good. Thank you.
That's how it makes me feel.
Get triple excited. Free HD, faster internet, unlimited calling. The new Comcast HD Triple Play is here.
It's the World Poker Tour. Going all in here. All new episodes of the best players battling to be crowned WPT champion. All new episodes of the World Poker Tour. Sundays.
Shot from Cliff Marvis. What a way to start 2005.
FSN, celebrating 20 years of sports coverage in the Rocky Mountain region.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Quest. Get in the loop and join the community that's changing the way people connect. By Dex, find out what you need to know when you need it in print and online at dexknows.com. By Waste Management, for everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green, think waste management. And by ColoradoDads.com. There are many different ways dads can be there for their kids. Learn more at coloradodads.com. It is a splendid day in Tucson. Temperature in the low 70s. So the scoreboard right now says 68. I'm not buying it. We were just outside, George. It's a lot warmer than that. There's Kosuke Fukudome, who was with the Japanese team in the World Baseball Classic that are champions again of the WBC. So he has not had a lot of action with his Cub teammates. That's why he's on the trip down south here in Tucson. Here's the lineup. Aaron Miles, the former Rocky, makes his way from St. Louis, signed a 2-year deal. He's playing shortstop this afternoon. Then Fukudome in the 2-hole. Micah Hoffpower's had a huge spring. He's a backup first baseman. He'll be a role player for Lou Piniella this year. Then Soto, who was terrific last year. Fontenot, Reed Johnson, Andres Blanco, Joey Gathright, the former Tampa Bay Ray, and Ryan Dempster, who makes his offseason home in Colorado. And Ubaldo Jimenez leading the Rockies onto the field. The pitcher strolls out and everybody sprints behind him. He was on the jog getting to the hill. And as George mentioned a few moments back, he was marvelous in his last outing against Milwaukee.
He was very good his last outing, pounding the strike zone. The walks have started to drop dramatically with him on the hill. That's the one thing that can create problems for him. But you see the ground balls and you see the innings pitched. Now it's time to get stretched out and try to work to that 100-pitch mark as he gets down to these last couple of starts.
And those numbers in the spring brought to you by our friends at Fidelity. Let's take a look at the gloves this afternoon. Behind Ubaldo. In the outfield, Seth Smith in left field. Ryan Spilborgh's in center. And Ian Stewart, we've seen him quite a bit in left field. We've seen him at third base. He's getting some work now over the last week at second base. And with Brad Hopp still nicked up, he'll be in right field today. Atkins, good to see him back in the lineup. Played the minor league game yesterday. Tulowitzki played yesterday up in the Phoenix area against Seattle. Barmas and Helton, and Chris Iannetta back from action in the WBC. And he swung the bat well for Team USA, and since his return he has swung the bat well, as has Stewart, who hit a 2-run long home run yesterday in Peoria against the Mariners, an 8-3 Colorado win.
Big thunder in the bat. Everybody's seen it, the consistency. Everybody would love to see him be able to get 500 at-bats and see what happens with him. And this is a lineup you'll more likely see on opening day, obviously minus Brad Hopp.
So here we go. Aaron Miles, who's carved himself out a very nice major league career, and he's a guy who's worked so hard, 9 years in the minor leagues, finally made it with the Colorado Rockies, and he did some very good things for Tony La Russa in St. Louis, signed as a free agent with the Cubs, got a 2-year deal. One of those guys, George, that you really cheer for.
Well, he handles the bat well at the plate. He plays the game right. He plays hard. He can play multiple positions, but obviously his comfort zone, middle of the infield.
And the first pitch, line to left field for a base hit for Miles. So he sat on that fastball. And a leadoff knock for Miles as we take a look at the Bird keys to the game.
Well, obviously, opening day lineup, we just mentioned that, with the exception of Brad Hopp, who's still out with a minor injury, and Aaron Cook will start opening day, who pitched yesterday. And then today you're going to get a look at Jimenez, who's out on the mound now, and then Drayson Greeley will follow by Glendon Rush and then Houston Street. So you're seeing guys that you will see more than likely as this season progresses.
Here's Fukudome. Fukudome, the first 4 months of last year, his inaugural season in the big leagues after stellar years in the Japanese professional league, Japanese major leagues. First 4 months were terrific, and he really tailed off, George, in August and September.
Well, was that part of that was the workload. Maybe that he wasn't accustomed to all the day games at Wrigley Field, not accustomed to that. In fact, the way you're facing some of the best pitching in baseball, too, the numbers can drop. Basically, he was a rookie in the United States last year, so it took a while to get the numbers that you wanted to have against him. I think the one area he obviously has success, and that time Jimenez threw the ball right by him, is on the inner half of the plate because of the high leg kick and a bail. His power is created from there.
Overall last year, he hit .257. Struggled out on the road. He hit just .225 away from Wrigley Field a year ago. His average was right about .280 prior to the All-Star break. And as we talked about, struggled a good portion of the second half. They went out and signed Milton Bradley. That was their biggest signing in the off season. Lou Piniella wanted a little extra pop in the middle of that lineup.
Well, they searched for that a lot last year. They wanted some backup power, I guess you would say, that would get in that 5th, 6th spot in the lineup to create havoc for everybody that had to pitch against the Cubs. They felt very confident that Milton Bradley was healthy and could put up the numbers need be.
Well, now you got Derek Lee, who's not on this trip. Aramis Ramirez not on this trip. That's the foundation of the middle of your order. You throw a Milton Bradley in there, it's good stuff.
Well, and you add Soto, the young kid that had such a great year, had big power, great catcher behind the plate, an all-star.
Yep. Two balls, 2 strikes on Kosuke Fukudome. Now it's 3-2. The Cubs have won back-to-back division titles. In fact, over the last 2 years, the first 2 under Lou Piniella, they've won 182 ball games. You have to go back to the mid-30s last time they've won that many back-to-back. That's ball 4. So the first 2 reach, and here comes Micah Hoffpower.
The guy that bounced back and forth between AAA and the big leagues, and Drew, this kid's got some kind of big power. Obviously, you see the RBIs in the spring, getting a high number of at-bats to find out if he's going to be a part of this. The problem is you've got some pretty good outfielders in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the team made from talking to people who follow the Cubs closely. He's blocked by Derek Lee. He's primarily a first baseman. You could throw him, I suppose, out in left or right field. He's left-handed as well, throwing. This ball is pulled foul, and he was smidgen out in front. That cracked the bat. But Hoffpower can hit. I mean, at Iowa last year, he hit over 360, and he continued that tear, as you alluded to, in the big leagues.
He did, and the bad part about it is with Lee at first, it's putting him in unfamiliar territory when you move him into the outfield. Now, the one thing at Wrigley Field, you don't have to have a lot of speed to play in that outfield because the gaps aren't big.
So Hoffpower with the 19 RBIs this spring. That's the most in baseball. Cubs have really hit the ball well this spring. Their team batting average is .313. And they've pitched well. They've had a good spring.
They have had a very good spring. The emphasis, I think, on that coming into it. Try to have the best spring we can have, carry it over into the season, start the season strong.
Cubs beat up the White Sox yesterday, 9-4. That was their 5th and final meeting of the spring. One of the largest Cactus League crowd ever. More than 13,000 took in that ball game. Runners going, and this ball is hit well to center field, but it'll be chased down by Spilborghs, and scampering back is Miles to second, and Fukudome to first. Boy, that was interesting, George. A 0-2 pitch, that moving, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was hit better than that. Well, the ball just seemed to die. I thought he got better wood on that. Spilborgh's good read out of center field to get over in position. Had the runners moving.
And you also have an open side. You got a left-handed hitter.
Surprised. Lou's not here. Let's try some new things.
Yes.
Lou Piniella did not make the trip down with the ball club. Became ill this morning, doing fine, but just went back to the house.
Here's Giovanni Soto, the reigning National League Rookie of the Year. What a good-looking player he is. And he was involved in the WBC, caught for the Puerto Rican national team. At the knees. And then a bluff to snap throw. Soto last year's overall numbers 285, 23 home runs. He drove in 86. You know what else, George? He walked 121 times.
Yeah, made him a good hitter. Very disciplined at the plate.
For a young hitter, that really gets your attention. It's that inside move. Got to practice those here in March also, right?
Well, you should, because, I mean, really, it is spring training. If you obviously don't want to give up some runs, but you want to practice that in theory of throwing to the bases early in the ball game. I don't particularly care for it late in games. First time, the middle infield didn't get the sign. This time they did.
It's been Barmas moving over. Now they set you up for the daylight play with the shortstop, right?
Absolutely. If you want to put it on, and this is something that comes out of your bench as part of the running game.
Good slider, and that one's tap foul. 1-2 on Giovanni Soto. You know, every team in baseball is one of the hardest spots to fill. Behind the plate, you want a guy who can handle a pitching staff, call a good game, control the running game, and then, oh, by the way, you get a bonus because this is a middle of the order hitter. And the Rockies feel they have the same thing with Chris Iannetta.
Well, it's a rare situation when you get two teams like this with Iannetta and Soto, that you look back, you get a catcher that not just catch and throw, but they're an offensive guy, a big offensive guy that can drive in runs, that can obviously hit the long ball and hit for an average. You just haven't had that. I mean, Pudge Rodriguez is probably the last guy to even come close to doing anything near that.
And last year, basically half a season worth of starts for Iannetta, he had 18 home runs, drove in 60 plus. That's down.
You're talking about power that Drew's talking about, the ability to leave the yard. I mean, I know Martin's a great player in L.A. as a catcher, as an offensive guy, that's a decent catcher, above average catcher, and throw guy, but to have the power. I mean, that's the biggest thing about it when you put these guys in the lineup. Martin utilizes his speed a lot to improve his offensive game.
Big hook. That was a pretty pitch. And therein lies one of the wonderful things about Ubaldo Jimenez, George. When there's traffic, he can go do this.
He can do this. He can punch people out, and he has a couple of things to go to. I think that's the one thing. He has the hard slider, then he has this good downer that he can go to, the 12-6 breaking ball. And catchers have confidence in a pitcher to call that in any situation because they throw for strikes.
So 2 outs. And a guy I've always admired, George. He's a versatile guy, and he can swing the bat. The former LSU star Mike Fontenot is playing third base this afternoon. He steps in. He's had a large spring. He gets a curveball.
Well, when you possess a fastball the way Jimenez does, where it's in the mid-90s, low to mid-90s consistently, hitters approach his first pitch fastball and then adjust after that. And when you're able to throw the ability to throw a good curveball for a strike and then ride heat like that in, well, everything is in your favor now. You have 4 shots at him to end the inning.
That's a pretty good sequence, isn't it?
It's outstanding. I mean, and that's where a lot of guys feel like it's mandatory first pitch fastball somewhere around the strike zone to get ahead. But if you have the ability with off-speed stuff to throw a strike, it just magnifies, and that's something that obviously Dak and Clint want to do, is see the strike zones over and over again.
And that was well located. That was a pitcher's pitch 0-2.
Well, no question. It's a little bit off the plate with late run on the ball, but again, it's a ball that's in the low to mid-90s.
Miles with a base hit to lead off the ball game. He's at second. Fukudome walked. He's at first, and that barely missed.
See, that's one of those pitches as a guy in a dugout, or how'd you take that? It's so nasty, you know you couldn't hit it, so I'm not going to swing at it and just hope it breaks out of the strike zone, because that was filthy.
Now it's 2-2. Outfield straight up with Fontenot there. 2 gone. Didn't finish that one. It's 3-2.
See, and that's where you're sitting in an 0-2 count and your stuff is that good. He doesn't bite on a fastball away, doesn't go after the breaking ball. Now earlier he did chase on an 0-1 pitch, fastball up and in. Tried to do that again, but yet left it out over the plate. Easy read for a hitter to take.
Went to a changeup on 3-2. And Mike Fontenot, after being behind 0-2, as hitters sometimes say, he spit on some good pitches there, George. And what they mean by that is he just took them.
Absolutely. And he took pitches that a lot of guys in baseball would have swung at. 22nd pitch thrown by Jimenez with the walk to Fontenot.
Now Reed Johnson will step up. Reed's a valuable guy for Lou Piniella. Plays center field. And if he's going well from the right side, he could steal some of Fukudome's time out center field. Sitting on 95, 96, but he missed there. It's 1-0. Line to right, and that's foul. He did a pretty good job, George, staying inside that baseball because that had some run on it.
Well, when you get a guy that throws this hard and it eats you up, sometimes you can hit the ball that hard to the right side and keep the ball fair. Because of the velocity of the ball, it takes a lot of the spin off. Hard to hit.
The other day against Milwaukee, Jeff Houston and I were remarking, there wasn't one comfortable at bat. There wasn't one like dig in, good looking swing.
Well, because he has a tendency at times to be just a little bit wild. You know, when you're a little bit wild.
Like that.
Yeah. Obviously not trying to do that.
No.
No question. I know it was set up down low and away.
Hopefully Reed Johnson's okay. It's hard. It caught him on the wrist. And that was a mid-90s fastball. It'll force in a run. Bob Apodaca will go out and talk to Ubaldo.
You talk about exploding fastballs and want to work that ball down and in, not up and in. This ball just took off and had that late tail and boring action in on a right-handed hitter. And you know what, folks, at 87, 88, 91, you're able to get out of the way of it. But at 96, 97, you don't have that reaction time to get out of it.
Wow. I thought for sure, especially in March, that he'd have to be coming out. He's jogging a first.
Well, you know, again, it's the toughness side of him as a player that's appealing to Luke.
So 1-0 Chicago, a hard-earned ribby for Reed Johnson. There have been 2 walks and a hit batter in the inning. And now Andres Blanco, switch hitting middle infielder. Well, even in March, naturally, you'd like to see Ubaldo. You got 2 outs, 2 on. You're ahead 0-2 of a hitter.
Right.
Get out of the inning.
Get out of the inning. And the pitch count now setting at 26. 13-13 when it comes to balls and strikes. And the way he's going to work himself in being a true number 2 or a 1 as time progresses is being able to throw 120 pitches and be in the 7th inning when it happens, not the 5th.
Yesterday, Aaron Cook worked. He went 5 2/3 in Peoria, got the win, his second of the spring. Gave up 3 runs on 10 hits against a Mariner lineup that included Ichiro and Ken Griffey Jr. And a shattered bat, and Ubaldo's going to have to go there to bag himself, and he does. In the inning, there was a hit, 2 walks, a hit batter, and a run for the Cubs. 1-0, middle of 1.
People in your life who know you like family. The people who know you get an extra shot on Mondays. What time you pick him up on Thursdays. And just about everything else in between. Your American Family Insurance agent truly gets to know you. So they'll know exactly what to do in case something goes wrong. Kind of like family. For over 80 years, American Family Insurance. The family you choose.
American Family Insurance.
Dear PlayStation, MLB 09 The Show thinks I can't hit the high and inside fastball. You're going to fix that, right?
Well, Dustin, PlayStation gamers demand the most realistic baseball game ever, so we're just going to keep it as is. It's called integrity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just polishing my MVP trophy. How many MVPs do you know that can't hit that pitch?
Apart from you?
MLB 09 The Show, the most realistic baseball game ever. Rated E for everyone.
staring contest? Next time, challenge him to a foot race.
The Cubs and the Rockies, 1-0 Chicago. Again, the Rockies and Cubs will meet opening day at Wrigley Field. That'll be a blast, George. You're a former Chicago Cub, and there's special venues naturally in this game, and to be at opening day at Wrigley Field, that'll be a lot of fun.
It is going to be special to be there to see the Cubs in action.
Here's Clint's lineup this afternoon. Ryan Spilborgh's up top. Seth Smith will be in the 2-hole. Todd Helton has been sensational this spring. Garrett Atkins will be next, then Ian Stewart, Tulowitzki, Ionetta, Barmes, and Jimenez to face a right-handed pitcher who was very, very good last year, Ryan Dempster. First pitch, Dempster's in the dirt. Dempster a year ago, 17-6 and a 2.96 ERA.
Pretty special. And going from a closer's type role that he had the year before into a starting role. A lot of guys, I say a lot of guys, very few guys can assume that type of duty and go out and have success that he has. He's always had that funny little thing at the start, a timing device inside of his delivery. And a lot of times what happens is guys break too early out of the glove, or they break too late at times. So that little flip of the glove a lot of times helps him to set over that back leg longer, make sure his arm's on top, and he has the good downward plane.
It is interesting to watch. Never seen it before. Seeing Dempster do it, 3-2. I mean, sometimes you see the double toe tap, George.
Sure.
You see that.
Well, you see double pumps at time. You see different things in guys' deliveries to help them deceive maybe a hitter a little bit, to hide the ball a little longer, take their eyes off of the ball.
(3-2) and a slider on 3-2 it looked like, and that misses. So Spilborghs earns a trip to first. He's done a good job in the running game also.
Well, the fidelity numbers so far this spring on Ryan Dempster, 4 starts that he's been out, a 2-2 record. The innings are starting to mount up, 17 in the third. You'd like to, I know the Cubs would like to see 6, maybe 7 innings out of him. You start to notice as you read the box scores throughout spring training, you start to see those starting pitchers are starting to bump it to that 6-7 inning mark every time out.
Seth Smith looks at a fastball that's too tall, 1-0. Smith's had a solid, well, those numbers aren't right. Can't have 7 home runs and only 4 RBIs, but he's had a solid, if unspectacular, spring. There goes Spilborghs. It's a hit and run. Soto's throw is not in time. Another bag for Ryan Spilborghs. So, you know, when you lose Willie Taveras, you say, oh man, the speed goes away. The Rockies are a very athletic team. They don't have anybody with Willie's speed.
No, they don't have Willie's speed. You don't expect that kind of speed. But when a stolen base can play into what you're trying to accomplish, and again, this is a hit and run on a ball down underneath, but yet he still gets into scoring position, so it works out well for the Rockies.
You know, if he can go get you 15, 18 bags.
Well, that mounts up. You get 3 or 4 guys that can do that. Obviously, Willie Taveras had great speed.
Two balls and a strike. Looking at the Rockies' third base coach, Rich Dower. Glenn Allen Hill once again at first. And this is smoked in a right center field. It'll be an RBI base hit for Seth Smith. In fact, Smith's going to turn first and go to second. Make it an RBI double. Man, that was squared up. And the Rockies even it up at 1.
Watching Dempster warm up, it seemed to be that he was in the middle of the plate an awful lot. When Smith crowded the plate, in a late movement on a baseball, it's going to become the center of the plate. But he really got his hands very well inside the baseball and able to jerk this ball, scalded it right by the second baseman out into the outfield. And this ball skipped all the way up into the gap and allowed him to get into scoring position.
And here's Todd Helton. 4 home runs this spring, and it's not just the home runs. It's where he's hit him. If you watch him take batting practice, and you heard us last weekend raving about his BP, I mean, listen, folks, if you ever watch batting practice, these guys are all the best in the world at their craft. So they hit rockets everywhere. But Helton's leaving the yard to center and left center and right center. And physically, he just couldn't do that the last couple of years.
Well, and again, that's the one thing the general public, realized how bad a pain he played in for the last 2 years with the back problem, the sickness that put him in a hospital for 3 weeks prior to that, the year before, that all the things Todd has had to deal with physically. I mean, it's lucky he was even on the floor, out on the field playing, and Don Baylor's been an instrumental part of these changes. They've moved his hands from out in front of the face to the back a little bit behind the helmet or over the back shoulder, and it's made it a much better progression for Todd coming back off of that surgery, and the comforting of Don Baylor.
And their relationship goes back, obviously, to when Todd broke in back in 1997. Todd, in his last start 2 days ago, 3 for 3, 2 walks, 2 doubles, drove in a couple of runs. I think it's been the best story coming out of Tucson for the Rockies this year.
It's a fun story.
Yeah.
Because of what he's accomplished as a former player. When he was at the highest level of his game, you're seeing that again.
And look at this, served into left field, base hit. Here's Smith around third. The throw to the plate is going to be too high. Helton's going to try to move to second, and he was cut down. But even that, George, you can say, all right, Todd's going to be station to station with the back. Here it is in March, and he looked good running, cutting the bag at first, trying to move up. Pop-up slide. It was a bang-bang play. Rockies take a 2-1 lead, but it's good to see how aggressive he is.
Well, very aggressive how he is, and the Rockies in this situation, because he knows when he hit this baseball that he did what he wanted to do with it. It was a fastball up and away from him, hit the line drive to left field, and a high throw coming to the plate. Soto cuts it off and then tries to make the snap throw successfully to get Todd at second. But again, it was a bang-bang play. What's nice to see, too, is this lineup put out there today, minus Hop, and I understand that. And that's a big minus because he's obviously got the power and the RBI ability to score early against Major League, and I don't want to say Major League, but against frontline pitching.
Sure.
It's one thing to score against a Dempster than it is to score against guys that are 7th, 8th, and 9th that, typically you haven't seen a lot, or they're young kids that make mistakes.
Atkins battling primarily a groin strain. He's got a little bit of a hip flexor going also. And he's still not 100%, but he played in a minor league game the other day. Now just getting the timing back at the plate, he was saying before the ball game. 3 balls and a strike. This is the kind of team you're going to see that you've seen through the first 3 hitters. Aggressive on the base pass, the ability to put the bat on the ball. Tell you what, Seth Smith with the weight down, George, he runs slightly better than average. Again, good athlete. We've talked about his football career. No flyers necessarily, but good athletes.
Very good athlete. And again, part of that inning was started when Clint decided to put a hit and run on. Spilborg steals second base. He's in scoring position. That changes the inning. Now I got a guy in scoring position. It changes the at-bat for Seth, who swung at the pitch and a breaking ball in the dirt.
3-2. And this ball's hit a long way straightaway. Did Atkins get enough of it? Yes, he did. Garrett Atkins to straightaway center field. Make it 3-1 Colorado. The hitters know they're on time, George, when they're using the big part of the park.
Yeah, feels pretty good, doesn't it, when you hit it 430 feet over dead center. It's 392 to the wall, and then add the 30-foot wall. Swinging the bat extremely well. As they tease first time out in a while for Atkins, and swinging the bat extremely well. And the dividend pays early here.
Larry Rothschild's at the mound. He didn't expect to be jogging out there in the first inning. Cubs got a run off Ubaldo Jimenez, and the Rockies have answered with the bats. 1 out, 3 runs across, and Ian Stewart enjoying a nice spring. Atkins will go by. Now it's his turn to sit in the office of Don Baylor. thing about Groove and your relationship with Donnie goes back a couple of decades, George. He speaks in a quiet manner, but as the old DF Hut commercial, when he speaks, people listen.
Well, and it's the way he puts it across. It's not loud. It's not forceful. It's a very easy tone to look at, and the confidence that he gives to the hitters.
This ball's hammered foul.
Yeah, Chris Iannetta was struggling a little bit in the box earlier today, and Don had told me, boy, we were right where we wanted to be before he left to go and play in a classic. And he said, came out and he was a little upset with it. He goes, "You're going to get it. You'll be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen big too." So I mean, it's the confidence. It's just the words that come out, obviously, that can make a difference in a player.
2 balls and a strike on Stewart. And that nicked the bat, so it's 2-2. It's going to be a fun lineup to watch this year. It really is. There is no place to breathe for the opposing pitcher. Look at the 7-8 hole. Iannetta and Barmes residing there this afternoon. Stewart pops it up down the right field line in foul ground. Long run, and the catch is made. That's a pretty good grab there by Reed Johnson, especially with the mound.
Well, you don't know what you're dealing with. It's not your bullpen. There's no help down there to let you know where you are when you get into that real estate area, and all he can do is check a couple of times to see how close he's getting to it and realize that the ball's in between the mound and the home plate area. Fences are coming. Able to make the catch and an out.
Tulowitzki, who sat out a couple of days earlier in this week, is back and tightened up on a trip to Phoenix, but he was on the bus yesterday up in Peoria and had a solid ball game. In the lineup again today. Check the defenders for Chicago this afternoon. In the outfield, the fleet Joey Gathright in left, Fukadome's in center, Reed Johnson in right. The infield features Fontenot, Miles, Blanco, and Hoffpower. And behind the plate, Giovanni Soto and with Ryan Dempster. Pitch was fouled off on the third base line while we were showing you the graphic. So here's the 1-2. Good swing there. Tulo's got 6 doubles and a home run this spring. Did a good job covering that off-speed pitch away.
Well, a lot of times, I think this is one thing that Don's worked on and talked about on a ball away from you. If you're not comfortable, particularly early in the count, that's a pitch you can hit, defining your strike zone, where you can have your best production. Trying to hook the outside corner.
Cubs will be a little different, George, this year on the back end. Kerry Wood's now with the Cleveland Indians. Dempster in the rotation. He was the closer in 07. Carlos Marmol, Kevin Gregg battling it out for the 9th inning.
Well, I think Marmol will probably get the nod early on. Only reason I say that is because of what he did in the past. I mean, his ability to come out and throw up a 0 with some strikeouts.
He's got nasty stuff.
Well, and I think the other thing that benefits him too is being in the middle of the bullpen last year. He worked some multiple innings, so I don't think Lou's going to hesitate to run him out with 1 out or 2 outs in the 8th if they got a 1 or 2 run lead to go out and try to go and close the game out.
And the former Marlin Kevin Gregg has done plenty of that, so you have
choices.
You have some choices. You have options. Tulowitzki is Dempster taking a lot of time here. Backs out once again. It has already been a 35-minute first inning. And he got him on a changeup. Good pitch by Dempster. In the inning, the Rockies had 3 hits, including a double by Seth Smith, a run-scoring single by Todd Helton, and this home run from Garrett Atkins. Colorado 3, the Chicago Cubs 1.
We have recycling plans that fit the biggest companies and programs that help others get started. We're there for you every night and on the job with you every day. When you put waste management to work, you get an environmental partner. And big ideas for every size business. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think waste management.
Opening day is going to be hot as the Rockies take on division rival Arizona in the desert.
Strike 3.
Tulo, Hall, and Cook want to taste the champagne of victory again this October. The Rockies need to start strong this year, and there's no better way than a division win on opening day.
Deep off the bat of Barber's going to get it. You bet he did.
Be there as the Rockies open the 2009 season in Arizona. Presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Coverage begins April 6th at 12:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain. Got it.
Rockies leading 3-1 over the Cubs. We go to the second inning. Joey Gathright out of the 8-hole face Ubaldo Jimenez. And we check in with Alana Rizzo with this afternoon's Great Colorado Payback Sideline Report. Hey, Alana.
Hey, Drew. Thanks very much. I want to talk a little bit more about Rocky center fielder Ryan Spilborghs. As you guys mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Ryan had one heck of an offseason. Obviously, the tragic death of his mother, something that he talked about extensively with me yesterday. He also had a lot of positive things happen to him as well. He was married. He and Stacy, his longtime girlfriend, are married. They are expecting their first child. It is a girl. They're expecting to have that baby. July 23rd is her due date right now. But he also spent a lot of time in Mexico playing winter ball, and he said that really helped him get prepared for the season, opportunity to start in center field if that's the decision the Rockies decide to make. And he said that he really liked the fact that he was getting as many at-bats as he did. He joked with me, he said, I didn't really do a great job while I was down there, but the constant repetition of being able to play every single day, he thinks is really going to help him. He said, I also have a lot to prove. I want to make sure that the Rockies front office knows that they are making the right decision if they do give me the starting spot in center. Look for a lot more to come from Ryan Spilborghs, Drew.
Yeah, he's a terrific guy, and he is one of the leaders in the clubhouse just by personality alone, but he has a respect to everybody because of the way he plays the game, and he's got a lot of talent. I mean, sometimes guys come up, George, as you well know, and they get labeled. This guy's got to be an extra outfielder. This guy's got to be a backup. Ryan Spilborghs does not buy that. And I think people are going to find out this year that Ryan Spilborghs is an everyday frontline big league player.
Well, the toughest thing as a player is to have patience till your time comes. And there's always been somebody in front of him. Matt Holliday, Brad Hopp, different guys. Larry Walker, even go back to Walker's days when he first signed as he's progressing through the minor leagues. There was people in front of him. Now there's not. And it's his turn, and he's looking to take advantage of that opportunity.
4-pitch walk to Gathright, who can fly. He's at first. Dempster trying to get down the bunt. He fails on the first 2 pitches. I was talking to Adrian Gonzalez, George, of the San Diego Padres a couple of days ago. I was at a function that that's a strikeout that he was at. We spent some of the day together, and he saw Spilly in winter ball this year in Mexico. Alana mentioned that he was down there, and he said, you know what, I love that guy. He can flat out hit.
Well, he can, and he can play the game the right way. And when your peers start to respect that and voice that openly to people like yourself, that you're, I mean, obviously Gonzalez knows who you are, but not somebody that spends a lot of time in conversation with, that he openly tells you that. Tells you he's earned the respect of the game.
Gath right now in a running situation after Dempster could not get the bunt down. Miles at the plate. He singled on the first pitch of the ball game to left. Joey's got 6 bags this year. You know who's leading baseball and stolen base in the spring, George? You'll never guess. I mean, never in a million years.
Willie Taveras.
Juan Pierre.
Imagine that. Juan keeps getting told he's not the guy, and he keeps showing up as the guy.
Yep. When Juan's career is finally done, they're going to have to lock him out.
It's going to be a while. Well, here's the thing about it. You thought he was good enough to give him a 5-year, $45 million contract. That's an everyday player type salary and contract. So he needs to be on the field. And he's one guy that wants to be on the field to earn that contract that was so really it was given to him because he deserved it.
He's just blocked right now. You got Manny Ramirez, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier in front of him. There goes Gathright, swung on a miss, throw to second, and Tulowitzki tried to get the upper portion of the body as that had some tail on it.
Well, it's pretty good protection swing by Aaron Miles too. And I mean, and again, it's a 1-1 count that he went on. But you look at this huge jump at first base as the legs started to move, head down, heading for one thing. That's the second base on the stolen base, not looking around. Now the swing of Miles, kind of defensive. See, that was a late swing on a changeup. Not a lot of lower movement or anything else, more of a protection type swing.
This is a funky looking slide by Gathright. 1-2 on Miles. Where's that? Strike 3, inside corner. Rick Reed with a slightly delayed punch out. So 2 gone, and that'll bring up Fukudome.
Well, anytime you throw away from a hitter, then all of a sudden you throw that good heat down and in, and Rick Reed's been around the game for a while. So you're going to see a lot of these fastballs on the knees and low call for strikes.
And George, well received by Chris Ionetta, very quiet with that.
Well, that's, I think, the biggest thing about him is he's gotten so quiet behind the plate with his movement. Runners on, pretty calm there. You see him just step out to the outside part of the plate for him, and then the reception into the glove.
Changeup, miss. Fukudome walked in the first inning. Well, see, earlier when Miles was at second, guys, remember back, Miles was at second. They picked twice with what they call in baseball the inside move, and the second baseman Barmas covering. They went with a daylight play there. Tulowitzki kind of just stretching out his glove. Of course, this is Gathright now at second base.
What Drew's talking about is whenever you look back as a pitcher and you see the catcher's or you see the shortstop's glove beyond the race run, you're going. As soon as you see that move, then you go, and you do, you know, as Drew mentioned, daylight. Obviously, you see daylight between your shortstop and the base runner. Pretty good pitch right there.
3-0 on Fukudome. And so far, Jimenez has not been as sharp as he was on Monday against Milwaukee. 3-0 swing, and Fukudome pops it up left side. Atkins waiting. He's battling a little bit of a breeze also. Middle of 2, 3-1, Colorado.
Businesses depend on a flow of information, sending and receiving orders, emailing customers, paying bills, doing research, buying equipment. But an unreliable internet connection can bring that flow to a halt. That's why small businesses depend on reliable Quest fiber optic internet to keep that flow of information moving. And your satisfaction is guaranteed with a 30-day risk-free trial. All for only $19.99 a month, our lowest price ever. Can cable offer that? Get Quest. Get nimble.
Make
Mako paints more than 500,000 cars every year, and you probably can't spot the ones we've painted. But you can always spot the ones we haven't. What? Mako, America's body shop. This week, our ambassador paint service is just $2.99. Go to Mako.com.
The Ring of Fire returns with Judgment Day. 13 extreme cage fights, 4 title bouts, 1 ultimate night. Featuring undefeated heavyweight Brendan Shaw, knockout artist Brandon Ruckus Thatch, and UFC veterans Luke Little Hulk Cadillo, Mike Nichols, and Alvin Kid Robinson. Tickets available at the Event Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Ring of Fire 34, Judgment Day. Don't miss it.
Rockies got 3 in the first. They come to bat in the second with a 3-1 lead on the Cubs for the first time in franchise history. All the Rockies games are on FSN Rocky Mountain, even the Sunday ball games. Season opener April 6th against the Arizona Diamondbacks north of here in Phoenix. First pitch swinging for Chris Iannetta. And he's erased, so with 1 out, we'll see Clint Barmas. Clint takes down low, ball 1. On the ground, deep in the hole, tough play, no play. That'll be an infield hit. Aaron Miles. There's very few shortstop, George, who can make that play. The Rockies have one because of Tulowitzki's great arm strength.
Absolutely. I mean, guys aren't going to make that play. I'm not sure Aaron didn't hesitate a little bit when he saw the third baseman to make a move on the baseball. When Fontenot made the move, maybe he backed off a little bit. And by that time, it's a long throw. Just eat the baseball.
Ubaldo Jimenez at the plate. Good practice for him to get a bunt down. And that's excellent. Hoffpower will have to go to Blanco. And Ubaldo, who George, quite honestly, at times struggled with that last year. Well, very good.
One of the things that they do here in spring training an awful lot, they have a pitching machine that can throw the slider, the curveball, and the fastball up to 93, 94 miles an hour. And so as a starting pitcher, they'll take you into that cage and start to throw balls at you, and you just practice your bunting. Take the time doing it. Not off of a coach throwing 45, 50, 60 miles an hour, but it's off of a machine which simulates more of a live situation for a game.
Here comes Spilborghs with a runner in scoring position and 2 gone. Spilly walked and scored on a double by Seth Smith. He also stole a base in that first inning, his 6th of the year. He's in a real good place offensively. This is where you're saying, hurry up and start the season.
Yeah, no question about it when you swing it this well. Hey, the Coca-Cola Value Packs, they're back for the 2009 season, and they're a perfect way to bring the family or 4 to the ballpark. The Value Pack includes 4 tickets, hot dogs, Cokes, and a parking, all for $49. They're available on all April games, excluding opening day. So don't miss out on this incredible deal brought to you by Coca-Cola. It's the Value Pack.
Runner going to third and safe. How about that? Clint Barmas takes off and swipes third base with 2 outs, and you better be safe if you take off there.
Yeah, you are. And again, Dempster in the middle infield just stayed put. And a lot of managers will do this with 2 outs early in the games, late in the games. They won't try to hold the runner on. They better stay positioned there defensively, and Barmas took advantage of it. But yes, you're 100% correct in making sure you are safe with 2 outs trying to steal third base.
Ground ball right side, and Hoffpower will go to the bag. In the inning, there was a base hit and a man left. 2 complete, 3-1 Rockies.
Sugars in these energy drinks. Let's find out.
While waiting, you should know 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
People who book with Hotels.com are used to special treatment. They enjoy being pampered and indulged. Or in some cases, grossly overindulged. So we designed a rewards program that meets those high expectations. It's called Welcome Rewards. Book 10 nights wherever you want, even in different hotels, and get a free night. Welcome Rewards from Hotels.com. It's not special treatment for your jacket. It's special treatment for your wallet.
Dex, you and I have a lot in common. How you figure? I help people strengthen their bodies. I help businesses strengthen their customer base. Dex, I help people find their trouble spots. I help businesses find customers through my print directories. Online at DexKnows.com. Even on those huge search sites with the funny names. Dex, that's a lot of weight. Try lifting a business. Right.
Call 877-4DEX now to find out everything Dex can do to find your customers. Dex knows.
This year, catch all the Rockies games on FSN Rocky Mountain. In an opening day preview, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies look to down the division rival Diamondbacks. See if Brad Harp's bat stays hot as opening day approaches. Monday at 2 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
3-1, Colorado leading the Cubs. Donnie Mills, one of our longtime outstanding photographers, has his family down here in Tucson. Donnie is, George, way overachieved.
On the rooftop.
Where he belongs. Breaking pitch missed to Micah Hoffpower. And this ball is tagged right center field and deep and off the base of the 405 sign. It'll be a stand-up double for Hoffpower. This kid out of Lamar University can flat hit, and he has waited his turn. He's 29.
Well, that's the whole Drew. At some point in his career, he's got to be given the opportunity to hit every day. And it's just so quick from the starting point of his swing to the contact of the baseball. He gets to the hitting area very quickly. This ball hits in that 405 slot. And by the way, with Stewart in right field, I thought he played that ball well. He went into a position knowing he couldn't catch the ball, but I'll take the ricochet back towards the right field side.
Giovanni Soto struck out his first time on a breaking ball. This ball's hit right center field. Stewart's going to have to field it on a hop. Hoffpower had to wait and see it down, so he'll go to third.
I think one of the important things for Stewart to do into the outfield is the throwing action of what he has at third base, which is a very short, quick catcher's type action. Ryan Seeley comes to mind, and when you try to extend the arm and make it longer into the outfield to generate carry on the baseball, at times you have an opportunity to hurt yourself. And Seeley did that. And I think it's important for Stewart in the outfield to continue to have the same throwing motion he uses at third, because with that motion he still has plenty of arm strength.
I talked to him about that a couple of days ago, and he said also when you start to get too long, it's out of his comfort zone, then you start to worry about injury. This ball deep to left field by Mike Fontenot. That'll work as a sac fly. Cubs have their second run. Hoffpower scores. Heard some Cub fans yelling, "Way to go, Micah." Cubs always travel well, whether it's spring training or the regular season. Cub fans are everywhere.
That all started back with Harry Carey. I mean, that's just kind of part of the thing. I mean, it's fun to be a Cubs fan. Go to the ballpark, spend an afternoon there. Increasingly more evenings.
George, now they're into working on their second century without a world championship.
Yeah,
last year was the 100-year anniversary.
Yep, and it's sad. They've been close numerous times and had opportunities to get there. Felt like they had clubs to get there. Last year being one of those.
Hey, last year they won 97 ball games. They had the best record in the National League. As that is on past Chris Ionetta, will be a wild pitch. So Jimenez continues to battle control issues today, but the last 2 years in the postseason, winners of the National League Central Division They're 0-6. They got swept by Arizona. They got swept by the Dodgers a year ago, and it wasn't even close.
Well, part of that is, I think, you look back at lose one team in Seattle, won 116 games, did not win a World Series, and not to pin anything on Lou Piniella. Obviously, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that the new season starts when the season ends. A lot of times, clubs get on a roll at the end and carry it on through.
Swung on and missed. It's 1-2 on Reed Johnson. In those 6 ball games, the last 2 years in the postseason for Chicago, despite being favored, for what that's worth, they've been outscored 36-12.
That's amazing because of the pitching staff that they've had, that they've been able to run out there to get outscored by that number. But again, I mean, the difference is, it's like the old Willie Mays theory. I'll take my 0 for 8s against Drysdale and Koufax, but 3, 4, and 5 better look out. That's when I'm going to have my 5 for 8. And it evens everything out for me. Well, when you get into the playoffs, you see 1, 2, and 3. You don't ever get to see 4 and 5.
Good block by Ionetta. Real good block.
Well, one thing he did very fundamentally sound there. He's kept the ball typically out in front of him. He didn't allow it to bounce away. But he knew where the ball was immediately when it got away from him. Watch his eyesight here, folks. When he gets out to block this baseball, and that's hard to do where it was thrown. But watch where he looks. Right down at the runner, because he knows the ball is not going to be that far away from him. Was able to retrieve the ball, yet keep the runner in check.
Soto at second with 1 out. He represents the tying run as the Cubs hit in the 3rd. Deep short, Tulowitzki on the move. 2 gone. This date in history is brought to you by Dex. And again, we focus in on the former Rockies skipper, now their hitting coach, Don Baylor. On this date, 1986, the Red Sox acquired designated hitter Don Baylor from the Yankees for the hitman, Mike Easler. And Baylor would hit 31 home runs and drive in 94 as the Red Sox captured the American League East. Pretty good pickup.
Yeah, Donnie was always one of those guys you would try to pick up late in the season. The Twins, we did it in '87 and hit a big home run in the World Series. Was a part of that ball club. Picked up right before you could add to the roster, right at the end of August. It's a great addition.
Blanco bounced back to the mound in the 1st. (2-0). A lot of hitters counts, George. I mean, Jimenez, we've seen this before. He's not been able to locate the fastball.
Well, everybody, unfortunately, I always, me, I'm looking on the positive side of things, and the way he operated at the end of the year last year, his ability to do things. And I think people constantly kind of sit on the edge with guys like him, thinking, are they going to revert back?
Stewart will make the play. Did a nice job getting back on that baseball. In the inning, there were a couple of hits and a run for the Cubs. It's 3-2.
We introduced Hyundai Assurance Plus to let people know we're all in this together. If you lose your income, you can hold on to your car and we'll make your payments for 3 months. And if that's not enough time to work things out, you can still bring the car back with no impact on your credit.
Right now, buy any new Hyundai and get up to $6,000 in savings. Plus, just announced an additional $750 bonus cash. Hurry to your Colorado Hyundai dealers. This offer ends soon.
Life is full of choices, like choosing the people who help you along the way. With the small stuff, the big stuff, and the important stuff. That's where American Family Insurance comes in. They'll get to know you before anything happens, so you'll receive the best care if something happens. Good choice. For over 80 years, American Family Insurance, the family you choose.
American Family Insurance.
Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? To have and to hold?
Time. You doing, champ? If you can't finish this, we're gonna have to go to the best man. I got it. Come on. Okay. You all right? You can do this. Let's go. Come on. Hope you don't need help with the honeymoon.
Pretty day in Tucson. Glad you're with us from High Corbett Field. Every Tuesday night this Rockies season Office Liquidators once again brings you Email the Booth as we answer your email questions live on the air during our broadcast. Email the Booth brought to you by Office Liquidators, Colorado's largest office furniture dealer. With the Rockies ahead 3-2, Seth Smith stands in against Colorado resident Ryan Dempster.
Boy, he scalded the ball in that first at bat, didn't he? I mean, he shot it right back to second baseman, right out into right center field on a low humpback line.
You know what, George? It's not often you see a ball that gets some dirt in the infield, because it was a line drive that skipped off the dirt. So, you know, ostensibly it's now, you know, a ground ball that gets in the gap that allows you to go for two.
No question. And that's that top spin and the drive of the baseball, top hand working through the zone. It's a nice at bat for him.
Smith would come around to score on a Todd Helton base hit. That's up 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dempster now one of many native Canadians that have established themselves in the big leagues. In fact, 2/5 of the rotation for the Cubs from north of the border. Rich Hart. And this ball is pulled to right. And a couple of strides in front of the warning track. Reed Johnson pulls it in, 1 out. That'll bring up Helton again, who had a vintage Todd Helton at bat his first time up. He lined the ball over the shortstop's head for an RBI single, hitting well over 400 with the 4 home runs this spring. I was chatting with him earlier. He's in a good place.
You can tell he is, by the way. His attitude is around the locker room a little bit too. It's kind of fun to see him laugh and joke and enjoy the game, enjoy what he's doing. He's enjoying the game of baseball, and when Todd's enjoying the game, he's enjoying the locker room, the dugout, the batting practice, the PFP drills. I don't know a lot of people that do enjoy PFP drills.
You did.
Oh, it's the most fun thing of the day. Couldn't wait to do it.
Pitcher fielding practice,
yeah,
folks.
Exactly, yeah.
Fastball spotted inside, too far inside. 2 balls and a strike on Helton. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Rockies. 2 runs, 3 hits for Chicago. This ball's hammered deep right field, and get up and get out. No, about 3 feet short of being gone. Throw to second, and Helton's gone again. Todd trying to stretch a single into a double for the 2nd time in the ball game's cut down. But it's March, and he hit that ball, George. Now, if we're at home at Coors Field, that's out, because the wall, even though it's tall in right field, that would have gotten up and over the scoreboard,
yeah,
I believe.
I think so. I would agree with you. I think Todd thought so, too, when it left the bat. Look where the pitch is on this. Down and in pitch, the hands inside. To get the extension that he produced with the bat and be able to drive the ball this far, only a few feet from trying to get out of this yard, and then as he tried to move into second base, the throw on target and the tag applied.
Slider for a strike on Garrett Atkins, who hit one over the center field wall his first time up. Another good slider. 0-2 on Garrett. Mako. Big hit of the ball game. Garrett Atkins solo home run straight away. And the ball real lively off Helton's bat.
Boy, isn't it though? Fun to watch. Hey, I want to tell the fans real quick, don't forget about the suites and the party facilities around the ballpark. It's a great place to entertain family, friends, business associates. There's a lot of different offers that are out there that can fit any event and any budget. Be sure to ask about the buy one, get one offer, as well as other great opportunities in the suites. 303-312-2444.
Up and in, 3-2. said this many times in springs past. If you hit one out of High Corbett, you've earned the trot around the bases. It's a big ballpark. Swung on and missed. So Atkins won the first battle against Dempster. Dempster takes round 2. Rockies ahead by a run.
Dear PlayStation, MLB 09 The Show thinks I can't hit the high and inside fastball. You're going to fix that, right?
Well, Dustin, PlayStation gamers demand the most realistic baseball game ever, so we're just going to keep it as is. It's called integrity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just polishing my MVP trophy. How many MVPs do you know that can't hit that pitch?
Apart from you?
MLB 09 The Show, the most realistic baseball game ever. Rated E for everyone.
Members of the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors, the right choice on your next small, medium, or large-scale project, providing the value of getting the job done right the first time. Our drug and alcohol-free workforces are highly trained to meet the challenges required in today's building industry, including the latest in green building techniques. You can count on our members to deliver the peace of mind you need and deserve for your next project. To get the job done right the first time, see our list of contractors at mpccolorado.org.
We have recycling plans that fit the biggest companies and programs that help others get started. We're there for you every night and on the job with you every day. When you put waste management to work, you get an environmental partner and big ideas for every size business. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think waste management.
Got it. 3-2 Colorado. Drew Goodman, George Frazier from High Corbett Field. Alana Rizzo is with us as well. Here's Joey Gathright against Ubaldo Jimenez. He needs a short inning, George.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Try to have one of those 15-pitch innings. Help you cruise and let you get your work in. I mean, it's one thing to get 100 pitches in, but it's one other thing to be done with it in the 4th inning. You don't want to be doing that.
Gathright on the ground, deep short. Tulowitzki's going to be challenged to get Joey, and he did by a step. Man, that is as good a play as you will see, especially with a guy out of the left side of the box who could flop.
Well, everybody did what they're practiced to do. Slap the ball the opposite way, try to hit it into the hole, and let my speed take care of it. But, oh, there's a pretty good shortstop out there, too, and Troy Tulowitzki with a backhand. And it's, folks, what makes this look easy is his athletic ability, but the exchange that he makes in all one motion, and from receiving the ball to throwing the ball to keeping his balance on the throw and the accuracy of the throw.
Now, if you were a scout,
fun to watch.
If you were a scout, George, you rate players' skills on a 20 to 80 scale, 20 being very poor and 80 being, you know, as good as you've ever seen.
Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. The arm is 70, 75 at shortstop.
Absolutely. No, there's no question. He's got a 70 arm at short, and some days a lot better, obviously, than that, but his ability to cover and the range. I mean, think through how many times National League scouts would come and say to us, when we first came to the big leagues, third baseman.
Just his size.
Yeah, you know, he's 6'3", 200 pounds, 215, 220. He's not going to be able to have the leverage in the ground. And I love it because I see those same scouts and I go, pretty good shortstop. And they're like, okay, we're wrong. You know, but they just looked at him thinking this guy's going to be a very, very good. Oh, yeah, boy, it's frustrating when you make a pitch like that and they dump it into the outfield. But, you know, it's just, you watch there on a move on that baseball like that. I mean, you see the ground that his has the ability to go cover.
I go back to something I said earlier, and it will be often repeated this year, I'm sure. The Rockies are a team of really good athletes. Troy Tulowitzki is a really good athlete. I mean, that may sound like, well, of course they are. They're Major League Baseball players. Well, some guys are outstanding baseball players. The Rockies, everywhere you look, have athletes. Stewart, tremendous athlete. So, okay, he's 230 pounds, but he moves well. His hands are good.
He plays the game. He has a motor that you like to watch. You know what I'm saying? He's got a motor for the game, and his mind is equal to the motor of the body. I mean, he is always thinking ahead of where this ball might be hit based on the guy that's swinging the bat. In other words, fastball away to a guy that goes to the opposite field. You know what? As the pitch is going, I'm going to cheat a couple steps. And I'm going to make this play look pretty easy, yet the ability and the preparation prior to the pitch is what made the play for him to be able to make the play.
2-0 on Fukudome with Miles moving. Throw to second, not in time. Miles ran on Jimenez there. No chance for Iannetta. And that pitch was out of the strike zone. So it's 3-0 on Fukudome. George, I know you were a reliever, not a starter, but these last couple outings for a guy that, you know, is set in the rotation, he's in the 2-hole, if you will, for Ubaldo Jimenez, and I say this not to make an excuse for him, but are they difficult to make those final couple of appearances when you know where you are?
Well, no. I mean, for me, no, because everything ought to be dialed in. You know, right now you should be at a point in this part of spring training to where you're running the hard sinker on the outside corner. You're busting that four-seam in. You're snapping the hooks and sliders off. Your game plans are starting to be set on how you're going to attack these hitters. And, Drew, you know, you've been with me 20-something years. I'm a huge believer in to go to your strengths, even if it's the strength of the hitter. Why go to a weakness and create another strength for a hitter? So, you know, I mean, go attack the strike zone with your stuff.
Now he's got to deal with Hoffpower with traffic, and Hoffpower runs into one at deep right center field, high and deep, and gone. Micah Hoffpower with a 3-run jack. He came close to hitting one out his last time up. And his gorgeous spring for the Cubs continues. And Chicago ahead 5-3. That bloop single for Aaron Miles when it looked like Jimenez would be in the dugout, and now he's still out on the hill, and 3 runs come across on the jack.
Now, one of the big things I've noticed about Hoffpower, he seems to be a very good high ball hitter. He likes to have the ball away from him where he can extend. And you know what? He's just a very good hitter. As you've heard me say many times, they practice too, and they'll capitalize on mistakes, whether it's 95 miles an hour or whether it's 88 miles an hour.
And he's got some effortless pop. Soto at the plate, 1 for 2, and he drives one to deep left field. This will be over the head of Smith. 1 hop off the wall. Soto digging for 2, and he'll have himself a double.
See, the one thing that jumps out that's alarming, and you mentioned the bloop single to left by Aaron Miles. 2 outs when all this is transpiring in a ball game. Go ahead and finish the inning, finish the out, finish the hitter.
5 runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, and a hit batter. So it's been a
92 walks.
Shoddy outing for Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, anytime you're coming into this game, and I may be off a couple innings, folks, about 205 innings, you walk 92 guys. And only strike out 93. Prior to this game, as a staff in spring training, I understand you're including a lot of young guys that aren't here anymore. They're down to AAA, but still too many walks. I mean, the walks are the one thing that create big innings in baseball.
Mike Fontenot, a walk and a sac fly. He gets a curveball for a strike.
'71 pitches in the ball game. 38 of those have been strikes for Ubaldo at 39. We'd like to see that number obviously much better.
Yeah, we haven't seen him finish hitters. He's had not a lot of these situations, 0-2 counts, but he's had a couple of them where he was unable to finish a hitter. One came against Mike Fontenot in the first inning when he worked out a walk.
3 strikeouts in the game, but one of those on a bunt attempt by Dempster.
I don't know if it's by design, George, but the velocity's dropped off a little bit for Ubaldo. Last 2 heaters, 90 and 91. And he was 95, 96 the first 3 innings. Curveball short.
A lot of that's the movement he's creating on the fastball. Has some sink to it. Sometimes guys don't stay behind it as long on a sinker to create that movement, to get the ground ball. It's been long innings. 28 pitches in the first inning. The innings have been getting expanded. Sometimes back off of it a little bit. Put some movement to the baseball and hope you get a ground ball hit at somebody. I'm a big believer that if you can't really spot the four-seam fastball inside, outside, and down in the strike zone, that you need to create movement. If you're 88, 91, 92, create fastball movement. Whether you're cutting it or you're sinking it, it makes it that much more difficult on a hitter to make or square up a baseball and to hit it with authority.
That was a four-seamer, it looked like, and that was up and away, 3-2. And once again, after being ahead 0-2, he's 3-2 on Fontenot. Then you get in the hitter's count.
Yeah, absolutely. You get into fastball counts, and this success rate jumps whenever you have the ability for a pitcher to come back with a changeup, curveball, slider, something that's off speed that you can confident you can throw a strikeout. Remember, he walked a guy on a 3-2 changeup. You get that over, that sets the tone beyond that inning and into the game. That, man, he threw me a 3-2 change and punched me out.
And he misses there. And after being ahead of Fontenot for the second time in the game, he walks him. That's 5 walks for Ubaldo. Windshield chipped or cracked, don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, or visit safelite.com. Now 20 pitches ago, again, you figured Ubaldo would be in the dugout. The way this thing is transpiring, he's around 80 pitches. Right. This may be it. He gets 4 innings of work. And I know you said it, you know, not
laboring innings.
Right. You said, you know, you don't want to get your 100 pitches in 4 innings. Well, no. Unfortunately for Ubaldo, who was just sensational in his last outing, he's laboring right now.
Well, you see the numbers of the pitches thrown by Jimenez. It's 78 pitches right now. You mentioned nearing the 80. But the strikes have not been there. 2 quick outs to start the inning. The ground ball to short. Dempster with the out, and then the bloop single, a walk, home run, double, and now the walk here.
If you read Johnson, man, you're thinking dead red right now. He's struggling to throw strikes. To get ahead here with a fastball. And he fails to do it.
A lot of great values out there for fans this year. If you'd like to purchase some of the Rockies season tickets, or how about a 15 to 25 game mini plans? Great packages include opening day, other substantial savings over individual tickets, season tickets guaranteed, postseason seats, and exclusive seats. So make sure you call the Rockies 303 or go to ColoradoRockies.com and order your tickets now.
Well, a moment ago it was Bob Apodaca, and now it is Troy Tulowitzki. Pretty obvious what he was relaying.
Well, there's certain pitchers that have relationships with certain players, and you know that they go out and kind of give a little fire under here to finish this inning.
3-0. Soto's at second, Mike Fontenot at first. 3 runs across in the inning, all with 2 outs for Chicago. The last 5 have reached. 3-0 on Reed Johnson. Now making 6 in a row have reached. That is the 6th walk. Andres Blanco will come to bat. 0 for 1, and he was hit by a pitch. Or excuse me, he's 0 for 2. Cubs have hit around with Blanco coming to bat here. And this is popped out of play. Blanco probably ticketed for Iowa. AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. Ball and a strike. Vargas will run to the bag. That's all for the Cubs in the inning. 3 runs for the Chicago Cubs on the 3-run blast by Micah Hoffpower. Chicago leading in Tucson 5-3.
People who book with Hotels.com are used to special treatment. They enjoy being pampered and indulged. Or in some cases, grossly overindulged. So we designed a rewards program that meets those high expectations. It's called Welcome Rewards. Book 10 nights wherever you want, even in different hotels, and get a free night. Welcome Rewards from Hotels.com. It's not special treatment for your jacket. It's special treatment for your wallet.
Hey! How's it going? I just wanted to tell you I got free HD. Yeah, free HD. The new Comcast HD Triple Play. Faster internet, unlimited calling, and the most HD anytime I want.
That's great. Thanks for telling.
I'm pumped! Yeah. Hey!
Get triple excited.
Sir!
Free HD, faster internet, unlimited calling. The new Comcast HD Triple Play is here.
Opening day is going to be hot as the Rockies take on division rival Arizona in the desert.
Strike 3.
Tulo, Hall, and Cook want to taste the champagne of victory again this October. The Rockies need to start strong this year, and there's no better way than a division win on opening day.
Deep off the bat of Barber's. Did he get it? You bet he did.
Be there as the Rockies open the 2009 season in Arizona. Presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Coverage begins April 6th at 12:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Well, the Rockies now will have to play a little catch-up, down 5-3 as they hit the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Ian Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, and then Chris Iannetta. Stewart fouled out down the right field line his first time up. Reed Johnson made a nice running catch around the Rockies bullpen area. Facing Ryan Dempster. The fastball's in. Changeup. Dempster has not been particularly sharp in this ball game. And of course, Ubaldo has really struggled with his command.
6 walks, a hit basket.
That's
a bunch.
Not good. The only thing good about it, George, is it's March.
But it's late March, and it makes you.
Yeah, though you know what? Earlier in the week, he was very good.
Oh yeah.
You never want to see it. But.
Hey, you know, and here's the other thing about it. I think if there's one thing you learn in baseball as a player, and even obviously as someone in this position, is that you learn that you're going to have bad days. There's days you're just not going to have them. You just hope you don't have a whole bunch of those together, because if you do, you're not going to be here doing it. You're going to be somewhere else. Where there's not as big a crowd, not nearly the glamour you normally have.
Tulowitzki struck out swinging his first time up, 4-pitch walk. Stewart takes off. Throw to second is not in time, so Ian Stewart steals a base. Talk about aggressive. Clint Hurdle. And I'm going to run, and I'm going to hit and run more. Something the Rockies have not done a lot of.
Confidence of contact with the bat. I think that's the one thing. Now, they've tried 2 hit and runs today, and both times they haven't made contact on the baseball, but yet they've ended up with a man in scoring position.
That was a straight steal.
Yep, and just lined the opportunity to go do it. And
now a bunt. Fontenot, wow, with middle infield instincts. That's a terrific play by Mike Fontenot.
Terrific play.
But a nice job by Tulowitzki. His job is move that runner with nobody out at second base up 90 feet, figure out a way to do it. He tried to drag a bunt. I thought it was very creative.
I thought it was too, because his bunted hard towards the shortstop side, but a quick reaction by Fontenot at third base allowed him to make the play and make it look pretty easy too. I was impressed by his quickness. That's a high pitch. See, Tulowitzki committed early for a base hit on this ball. Now, if you notice that, I mean, the bat was committed, the pitch was high. I mean, it was almost neck high. And once he had made that commitment to contact to the baseball, it all works out if Iannetta gets you a big fly ball or a base hit here.
Another situational at bat. And Iannetta does exactly what you asked for, George. Nice knock to right center field. How about quiet, staying back, just pitching, hitting the ball where it was served?
Well, 2 times he's been up. The one hop line drive right at second base, or excuse me, at shortstop. He was thrown out there. Now he stays behind the ball and tries to drive it. Remember, one of the downfalls to Chris Iannetta when he first got to the big leagues was patience. He had too much of it. Go be aggressive on the baseball. That's a pretty swing, folks. Everything right inside. The ball was going to go that way, and he just took it to the opposite field and got it airborne enough for a base hit and RBI.
Barmas in a 5-4 ball game with 1 out. Dempster says, you know what, I'm going to even check out the catcher right now.
Everybody's running, why not?
And Iannetta's running. And he's cut down. And again, that's not hit and run. He was just going.
Well, trying to get another man into scoring position with just 1 out. If they had the ability to get him safe, the ultimate surprise, the catcher stealing the base. Iannetta, average speed. Nothing great, but average speed. See him look back, though, at Clint Barmas the whole time. Barmas thought he was going to get by Miles. Doesn't do it. Doesn't make the play either at first.
So another infield hit for Clint Barmas. And Ubaldo Jimenez's afternoon is done.
Well, there's Barmas with the hard slider. Just takes it right back up the middle, kind of off the end of the glove bat. And then Miles with the really a good play on the baseball. Just not a very strong throw. And Hoffmeyer with trying to make a swipe over at first base with it. Not able to complete it.
The Rockies go to their bench. Guys had a very good spring. The former Giant, Daniel Ortmeyer, the switch hits. He steps in from the left side. He's got 3 home runs this spring. Last home run, a 3-run shot earlier this week. Against the Angels up in Tempe Diablo. That is the closest park, other than, of course, Tucson Electric Park, where the Arizona Diamondbacks call home. Used to be the Diamondbacks and the White Sox, so the White Sox moved up to Phoenix this year. But the closest team in Phoenix, the Angels, their ballpark right off I-10 in Tempe, and you know, if you're moving quickly, you can get there in about 90 minutes.
Well, here's the thing about it. I mean, really the hardship put on the Rockies as far as the travel concerned, with only 1 major league team in the city now. Obviously created a lot more travel, but it creates a huge problem. And I say this honestly for the minor league teams, because the only team they have to participate again is the Arizona Diamondbacks. So if you're pitching every 5th day and you're catching the Diamondbacks every 5th day, you're catching the same lineup every day. It makes it very difficult. As the AAA teams, AA and AAA, are over here on the backfields today, playing against each other. Yesterday they were on the road.
You know, and if you're a position player, George, you start to see some of the same arms all the time.
Same arms, same motion, same everything all the time. Same bullpen guys. I mean, it just makes it pretty difficult to make some true assessments at times, I think, too. Somebody just went yard, or maybe they flew out.
He went a long way if he flew out. Ball in the dirt. Barmas moves up. Another point of emphasis. Getting good reads off your secondary lead, George. Ball hits the dirt, you're gone.
Well, here's the thing for base runners. Watch your catcher. If you see a right-handed hitter up, and again, it's a left-handed guy right now at Ortmeyer, but if you see them move to the inside part of the plate and ask for the ball down, how many times do you see a catcher tap the dirt? That's telling you they want to break a ball down in the dirt. Don't leave something up. So now as a base runner, as he picks that front, get your secondary lead, but you know there's anticipate the ball in the dirt. Don't hesitate when you make the move, but it's not just watching the pitcher. Watch your catcher set up. Watch what he does with his glove. Is he tapping dirt? Is he moving? What is he doing behind the plate? It can give you a great indication of where you could do as a base runner.
You know, every catcher does it, George, because they're so focused on handling their pitcher. But it is a dead giveaway. You don't tap the dirt when you want a heater.
Right, exactly. I mean, those are things that you watch as a base runner. Catchers give as much away as possibly of what you see also with the pitcher. runner out on second, using numerous different signs to try to disguise what they were going to come with. Good at bat for Ortmeyer.
He's had a string of them this spring. That'll bring up Spilborghs with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, he's a disciplined veteran hitter. He's a professional hitter. Knows what his opportunities and what they are here is to come off the bench late in the ball game and pinch hit.
One of the Rockies' position battles not yet quite settled. Who will be the 5th outfielder? Matt Mertens had a good spring. You know, Ortmeyer, because of what he's done, has put himself in the mix.
Well, I think one of the things you look at for all of baseball teams, what guy can adapt to not playing every day and still be productive? You know what I mean? Who can handle that role of pinch hitting and only getting maybe 6, 7 at bats? Now, Clint does a good job of getting those guys at bats. One time, we getting them a game of at bats, you know, like 4.
Yeah, very good job.
But the thing is, what guy handles that well, and do you lose anything defensively when you put that guy in the game?
That's down. And you know, Scott Podsednik, the veteran, who's as professional as they come, in the mix as well, true center fielder. But the guy that's really emerged after, I don't want to say he started slow, but he just gets better every day and is very intriguing, is Dexter Fowler.
Absolutely. There's no question.
Best defensive center fielder they have.
Well, yeah, but I think here's the one thing you have to look at. For me, in my opinion, can I get him enough at bats to continue the development that he needs? Because if he's only going to get 200 at bats this year, then it's not worth it. If he's going to get 300 or more, then it's worth it. But you don't want him to where he's not getting enough at bats that you believe in him enough to turn heads.
And a big part of that equation, talking to Clint about it a few days ago. Can he get him enough work? 1-2, and Spilly went around. So Ryan Spilborghs is gone. In the inning, the Rockies create a run. 5-4 Chicago as we move on to the 5th.
We introduced Hyundai Assurance Plus to let people know we're all in this together. If you lose your income, you can hold on to your car and we'll make your payments for 3 months. And if that's not enough time to work things out, you can still bring the car back with no impact on your credit.
Right now, buy any new Hyundai and get up to $6,000 in savings. Plus, just announced an additional $750 bonus cash. Hurry to your Colorado Hyundai dealers. This offer ends soon.
H&R Block's certified tax professionals will do your taxes right. Last year, we found errors on 4 out of 5 returns prepared by others, saving people thousands of dollars. Already filed your taxes with someone else? Let us take a second look for just $29.
Office Liquidators has Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices on new and used office furniture.
Office Liquidators is your source for top quality bank office furniture at a fraction of the new cost. Need a file? Office Liquidators has miles of files for any budget. Get a money-saving coupon at OfficeLiquidators.com and save even more.
Office Liquidators, making a difference since 1985, proudly sponsors the Allie Meyer Foundation, benefiting Children's Hospital.
Hi, Drew Goodman here for AMPCO. No one likes to spend money on car repairs, and everyone knows that transmission work can be costly. So don't spend any more than you have to. Go to AMPCO for a job done right at a price that's right. AMPCO. Is this out of my car?
This year, catch all the Rockies games on FSN Rocky Mountain. In an opening day preview, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies look to down the division rival Diamondbacks. See if Brad Huff's bat stays hot as opening day approaches. Monday at 2 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
5-4 Chicago. Ubaldo Jimenez is done, as you know from last inning when he was pinch hit for. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast. Franklin Nunez takes over, George. And there's always a guy that comes over from minor league camp in the event late in spring where the starter, you know, you hope he gets 5 or 6 innings, and then you have other guys that you want to use. Well, if for some reason he gets knocked around and you need a guy to bridge to the next guys you want to use, well, number 99, Franklin Nunez, is that guy today.
He's the guy today to try to work 1 inning. It's also a great opportunity. I mean, he's pitched in 1 ball game so far. He has a strikeout. He gave up a hit previously for the Rockies in a ball game. But again, it's a guy that comes out, gets an opportunity to throw in front of Clint, Dak, in front of the crowd, face some big league hitters in the middle of the game, try to make an impression.
Joey Gathright out of the 8 hole will be the first subject for Nunez. Dead giveaway that he generally works out of the pen as he starts from the stretch.
That's exactly right. Typically a guy with heavy sink, good slider.
Franklin Nunez has bounced around professional baseball. He's 31. And these are the guys, George, that you played a little bit with on your way to the big leagues that rarely get spoken about. They're professional baseball players who really don't get any major league time. And it's almost like a summer job. They have a winter job, too.
No, they do have a winter job. There's no question about that. They spend a lot of time working on the craft, too.
But they're guys that fill up rosters at the AAA level that really are no longer prospects. But they're high quality players, good enough that they're going to help out a AAA ball club and be the right kind of influence in the clubhouse. But realistically speaking, their time to make the big leagues is past.
Absolutely. And again, though, they are an insurance policy a lot of times, too, that if one of the younger kids aren't ready to go, somebody goes down, you bring them up for a week, 7 days, 14 days. So you can make a trade. You know, if you get caught with some backed up with some doubleheaders, you need help in a bullpen for 1 game or 2 games.
Cedric Bowers last year.
Yeah, Cedric Bowers ran up and came back.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3. That's good looking heater. 93 miles an hour. On the outside corner, he finished that pitch. And Gathright, the former Ray and Kansas City Royal, heads back to the dugout.
Yeah, good paint there. It's up on top, had good downward plane to it, late movement and run.
Dexter will continue on. He's going to hit for himself here in the top of the 5th. Bryant struck out trying to bunt and hit a soft liner, Clint Barmas. No, Baldo will have 1 more outing before he faces the Diamondbacks at Chase Field on the 2nd day of the season.
It's always nice when you get to come in, too, like Nunez is, and you're facing the bottom. You know, you get a pitcher to pick on.
And if we get the 8-hole guy, I should get the pitcher. That's
yeah, I got 2 quick ones. Right. And maybe I can work my way through this thing pretty quick. Glendon Rush had started to throw down there, so I think he'll be the guy to come out. His scheduled was to come out and throw the 6th.
What a job Glendon's done this spring.
He did a good job last year for the Rockies.
Yeah. This ball's hit the center field well. Spillboards, can't get there. That one hops the fence. And now Dempster's saying, you know what? I'm trying for 3. And he's got himself a triple.
Everybody's got panic set in the Cubs dugout, along with the trainers going, what are you doing? Don't pull a hamstring. Don't tear up your, and you turn it up and get a triple out of this thing, make the people a little bit nervous here. Well, you talked about the 1 strikeout, and hey, I got the pitcher coming up, except the pitcher didn't cooperate. He took it in left center field, 392 feet into left center field, out of the reach of Spillborgs, and then, man, he turned the corner, he said, I'm not picking up the coach, I'll do what I want to. I'll just come in here and stand up at 3rd. Now, can we have a 5-minute break to catch the breath and get things back in order? If he hits a deep fly ball, I'm not tagging, okay? I'm just going to stand here.
Right.
I'm not ready for this.
Infield's in with 1 out. 5-4 Chicago. They hit the top of the 5th. Aaron Miles at the plate. A couple of singles, and he was caught looking. And did he go? No swing. How about the Cubs? Last Thursday, George, I've been up in Phoenix last few days. The wind was howling last Thursday. And the one-night game for the Giants this year in Scottsdale with the Chicago Cubs sold out, places a mob scene. That's a base hit for Miles and an RBI, 6-4.
3rd hit for Miles in the ball game.
You know what? He had 3 hits in the ball game yesterday. He's doing his thing. He can hit. And the wind became so difficult to deal with, not only for the players, but for the fans to sit there through. They went 6.5 innings, and because it's March, they threw their hands up and said, we're done.
We're done. We're leaving.
Ball game canceled, suspended because of wind, and the Giants win at 5-3. Kosuke Fukudome. And one of the questions for the Cubs going into spring training, who would be their 5th starter? Sean Marshall, you're talking about putting your foot down. He has the lowest ERA in spring training baseball this year.
Well, I remember last year he kind of bounced back and forth, and Pinella really wanted him to grab a hold of that 5th spot as they hunted, made some late trades in the season to do some things. They thought to fill in. Well, he's done that.
But also, you know what has resurfaced in the last 48 hours, evidently, or maybe it goes back beyond that, but at least it's become public. Now with the sale final in San Diego, Jeff Morad, who was the president, the CEO of the Arizona Diamondbacks, he's led the ownership group for the Moores family in San Diego. They're revisiting moving Jake Peavy perhaps to Chicago.
Well, I think that trade could stay alive with Peavy out there for a while as they're trying to dump the payroll down and make this club make some money out there. The problem I think you run into is you've got some other pretty good players there. You know, and how unsettling is that going to be again? That how many times they've gone through this now? Back in what, '94 they dumped out. You know, every time they seem to get to the playoffs or put a team halfway decent together, they start dumping out to save money. When the draft's going to become very valuable, very important, you just hope you get some of those guys back.
You know, there are 2 teams off the top of my head that have been able to, you know, kind of turn their roster over for financial reasons, yet contend very quickly on the backside of that. The Florida Marlins are example number 1. They've done it twice. Captured a couple of World Series, been very competitive, ahead of when many people thought they would. And the Padres, though, have been able to do it also.
They have, but I think, again, when you look back, the Padres have gotten lucky with some Roll 5 drafts. They have one this year in Cabrera from the Rockies.
Miles going. This will be a tough chance for help. Did he get Fukudome on the tag?
Did get him. Just on the backside, another indication of Todd Helton and his athleticism and the ability to make the play.
I wasn't so sure that Fukudome wasn't out of the baseline either. 2 outs, and that'll bring up the hitting star of the game, Micah Hoffpower.
Again, that high hopper, boy, it's just a bang-bang decision that you have to make. Helton able to make the tag to get the 2nd out. Clint Hurdle's going to the mound. With Lyndon Rush ready to go, this is some situations typically not going to be at this time of the ball game, but left on left to bring him in and face a guy that's done major damage in this game today against the Rockies.
Yeah, this is purely about, let's see how Glendon does in a situation where we may have to utilize him once they tee it up for real. We'll step aside. 6-4 Cubs leading, 5th inning in Tucson.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Oh, come on in. I had some other things you could tell people about Geico. Great claim service and a 97% customer satisfaction rate show people really trust us.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Trust is key when talking about Geico. You gotta feel it. Why don't you and I practice that with a little exercise where I fall backwards and you catch me?
No, sir. Honestly, I don't think...
No, we can do this.
Oh, dear.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We created Hyundai Assurance to offer up a little peace of mind. And for a limited time, we've even gone and added something extra. A plus. If you lose your income, we'll make your payments for 3 months while you get back on your feet. And if you need help beyond that, you can still bring the car back.
Along with Hyundai Assurance Plus, get the Hyundai Accent starting at $99.70 or up to $6,000 in savings on any new Hyundai. Only at your Colorado Hyundai dealers.
The Ohio State University. The University of Texas Southern University.
California, Berkeley.
Old Dominion University. Harvard University.
The University of Virginia.
Texas A&M. Norfolk State University. Georgetown University. Arizona State. Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
6-4 Chicago. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast. Glendon Rush out there, and he got a breaking pitch over that was swung on and missed by Micah Hoffpower. So it's 0-1. Hoffpower 2 for 3, a double and a run scored, and a 3-run home run his last time up. That's down low. Runner at second base is Aaron Miles. Aaron singled in a run earlier in the inning. One of 3 hits for Miles. And this is pulled foul, so it's 1-2. Well, Glendon Rush, a former Cub, in fact, a very close friend of Ryan Dempster. Reinventing himself, George, as so many pitchers have to do. Glendon, one of the better pitching prospects in baseball when he first came up, a starter for a good portion of his career, then a long reliever, and now he's being asked to kind of be a swing guy and maybe even match up like this from time to time.
No question. And I think the other thing you got to look at what he went through physically also with his surgery. And, he had the rib thing and the flow of blood flow into his arm and everything else, and to come back from that, everybody's like, he's not the same. He's not. That's pretty major surgery. You see those numbers in spring training. He's yet to give up an earned run. Put out some outings, 8 hits over that span there.
Iannetta starts in, then moves away, and this is chopped to Helton. That's a tough pickup. Rush gets over there. There's the PFP drills paying off in the inning. Triple by Ryan Dempster, a single by Aaron Miles makes it 6-4.
For more than 100 years, the Division of Wildlife has managed and protected the hundreds of species that call Colorado home, and even conserved their natural habitats. And during that time, hunters and fishermen have played a crucial role in managing this important natural resource. In fact, sportsmen contribute nearly all the funding for their programs and activities. From the eastern plains to the western slope, that's how we're keeping Colorado wild.
Got it. This year, catch all the Rockies games on FSN Rocky Mountain. In an opening day preview, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies look to down the division rival Diamondbacks. See if Brad Harp's bat stays hot as opening day approaches. Monday at 2 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Baseball on FSN is brought to you by Amco Transmissions, AA MCO. By Big Brothers Big Sisters. Donate your car to Big Brothers Big Sisters. You get a free tow, a tax break, and you'll help change a kid's life. By your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Buy any new Hyundai and get up to $6,000 in savings. America's best warranty and the Hyundai Assurance Plan. And by the great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. Seth Smith will lead off against Ryan Dempster in the 5th inning. Rockies trailing by a couple of runs. Smith, an RBI double in the 1st and a fly ball to right field in the 3rd. Smith out of Ole Miss. Getting what looks like an everyday opportunity, or most day opportunity in left field for the Rockies, with Matt Holliday now in an Oakland A's uniform. Got a good pitch to hit there. 89-mile-an-hour fastball that was belt high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Helton on deck. That was a pretty pitch. Bottom dropped out of that.
Yeah, you just start to see him settling into his role of what he's trying to get accomplished today, and he did show the pitch there you hadn't seen in a while. Yeah, split finger came out of that thing. They're giving me the split finger sign up here, folks. Yeah, he was. I mean, the bottom fell out of that thing. He got the outs. I mean, early in this game, he looked like he was trying to work on some fastball command, and all of a sudden, hey, you know what? It's time to get serious and get through the innings. Their bullpen has started to get busy.
Todd Helton, a line drive RBI base hit to left. He was cut down trying to stretch it into a double, and then his last time up, he hit it off the very top of the right field wall, and he was out trying to stretch that into a double. So Todd has squared it up twice. In fact, he has 5 straight hits over the last couple of days. Change up. There was some talk during the offseason with Todd only playing half a season. He had 2 at-bats in the second half last year, and coming off back surgery. Would it be a situation with Todd, obviously no longer a 155-game player, would you move him out of the 3-hole? Well, he has. You talk about saying, hold on 1 second. This guy is your 3-hole hitter after what he's done this spring.
Well, he deserves that credit to be there. If he's 100% swing the bat the way he is, he's going to drive in a lot of runs.
Tough chance for Miles.
It's one of those fly balls with this high sky we have today, Drew, and the way things look. You're saying, where's my outfielder? Call me off this thing. I don't want to have to battle this. And that is a miserable sky to try to catch a baseball in. It gets up fairly high, and that one did.
So with 2 outs and nobody on, Garrett Atkins homered in the first to straightaway center field, and then struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the third. Most of Atkins' work has been on the backfields this week with the strained groin. He's taking at bats in minor league games. Played yesterday in a minor league game. Slider for a strike. Here's the home run against Dempster in the first.
Look at the pitch too. It was belt high up out over the plate where he could drive something, and he did that. And he just responded, which is what you anticipate Garrett Atkins to do on pitches like that.
And that ball softly hit to short on a shattered bat. 1-2-3 innings. The first of the ball game for Dempster. 6-4.
People who book with Hotels.com are used to special treatment. They enjoy being pampered and indulged. Or in some cases, grossly overindulged. So we designed a rewards program that meets those high expectations. It's called Welcome Rewards. Book 10 nights wherever you want, even in different hotels, and get a free night. Welcome Rewards from Hotels.com. It's not special treatment for your jacket. It's special treatment for your wallet.
Dear PlayStation, MLB 09 The Show thinks I can't hit the high and inside fastball. You're going to fix that, right?
Well, Dustin, PlayStation gamers demand the most realistic baseball game ever, so we're just going to keep it as is. It's called integrity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just polishing my MVP trophy. How many MVPs do you know that can't hit that pitch?
Apart from you?
MLB 09 The Show, the most realistic baseball game ever. Rated E for everyone.
Sarah?
Here, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Jack. Hey, Dad. Big announcement. Looking over the bills, Mother and I decided to cancel cable, internet, and wireless.
What?
Canceling what?
But...
And bundle with Quest instead. Right, Julie?
Who's Julie? Exactly, Mr. Davis.
Act now for special introductory savings. Add high-speed internet and DirecTV service starting at just $29.99 more a month.
What are you waiting for?
Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
Got it.
6-4 Chicago, top of the 6th inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier upstairs. Let's go downstairs to Alana Rizzo with this afternoon's injury report brought to you by Exempla Lutheran Medical Center.
Thanks very much. So just a couple of injury updates to report. We'll start with the outfield. Brad Hopp, as we mentioned earlier, playing in a minor league game today. He's expected to go about 5 innings in the outfield, hopefully getting at least 7 at-bats. We're trying to get him the repetitions in to see if he can continue and come back to the major league fields for the end of spring training. Also, Carlos Gonzalez, another outfielder, dealing with an intercostal strain. He's also playing in a minor league game, expected to go again about 5 innings to get the at-bats that he needs. Garrett Atkins in his first major league spring training game today since March 10th. He's dealing with that groin strain. He's not expected to play past the 5th inning, so he should be out of the game at this point. He will be re-evaluated tomorrow to see if he can play the rest of the way in spring training. Taylor Buchholz with the elbow strain. He continues his strengthening exercises. You can expect Taylor to begin a throwing program at the end of spring training. And of course, Jeff Francis out for the entire season. Talked to head athletic trainer Keith Duggar. He said that his rehab is going well. And again, we will not see Jeff Francis all year, as we already know that, Drew.
All right, Alana, thank you. Glendon Rush, after spotting a couple of pitches to Giovanni Soto, comes back and punches him out for the first out. Garrett Atkins is now out of the ball game. Jeff Baker is in at third base. So 3 at-bats for Atkins, a home run. 1 for 3. Plays half the game. Shake and bake out at third.
Well, and again, that's an opportunity for Bake to get some consistent at-bats and make a play here.
That's a tough play for a third baseman. A lot of times you see the shortstop come over, and of course Tulowitzki was in the neighborhood.
That makes it more difficult the deeper it gets down the line. So obviously the shortstop has a much better angle on the baseball. You see this ball's only about 20-25 feet behind third base area. Tulowitzki right behind him.
2 outs. Reed Johnson at the plate, 0 for 1. Hit on the wrist his first time up, and thankfully got his wrist up. It forced in a run, but it was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that if it doesn't hit his wrist, it's going to hit him in the head. Ubaldo Jimenez. He also has walked. Reed demonstrating a pretty good eye, 2-0. One of the decisions, George, yet to be made. We should see Houston Street later on today. Who will the Rockies' 9th inning man be initially?
Well, again, you try to see that battle get won here. Who you go with, and then if you feel that there's not a clear-cut winner, I guess it becomes a gut reaction of what Apodaca and Clint come up with, what they want to try to do.
3-0's in there, 3-1. Jason Grilli right now throwing for the Rockies. He'll have the 7th inning. There's a member of Team Italy. Ooh, Rick Reed may have squeezed him on that. You can tell by Rush's reaction, either he was upset with himself or he wasn't pleased with the
well, I think probably more than anything, just upset with himself to get 3 balls instead of attacking the strike zone as he did earlier. As you watch Greeley warm up down into the bullpen. 3 1/3 innings. Boy, he did a great job in it.
Team Italy.
Yep, sure did. Trying to think of the team. I think it was Australia, the big guy in right field. He hit like 2 doubles off the wall, and the announcers at the time said, he works in the coal mines. I said, no kidding, look at his forearms. I mean, this guy was a monster, and he could really play.
Whoa,
swing harder.
Rogers Blanco. He needs longer spikes.
Yeah, he needs some seat belts with this swing. Try to keep his feet still.
Some pitchers didn't like it. What was your reaction?
Hated it. Didn't like it. Yeah, it's one thing for Reggie Jackson to do that, but when you're hitting 8th in the lineup, it's not, 7th in the lineup, and you hit like 6 home runs in your life.
Little League included.
So it kind of agitates you a little bit.
This has popped up down the third base line. Another shot for Baker. He's got it. And Glendon Rush, George, another inning in the third of scoreless baseball. Spotless this spring. 6-4 Cubbies.
We repair, we restore, we renew. We just want you back together. Mako, America's Body Shop. Compared to other body shops, Mako is 33% less. Go to Mako.com.
past few weeks.
I got the new Comcast HD Triple Play, and I got free HD.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I just had to tell somebody. Faster internet, unlimited calling, most HD anytime I want.
It's pretty good. Thank you.
That's how it makes me feel.
Get triple excited. Free HD, faster internet, unlimited calling. The new Comcast HD Triple Play is here.
Dex, you and I have a lot in common. How you figure? I help people strengthen their bodies. I help businesses strengthen their customer base. Dex, I help people find their trouble spots. I help businesses find customers through my print directories. Online at DexKnows.com. Even on those huge search sites with the funny names. Dex, that's a lot of weight. Try lifting a business. Right.
Call 877-4DEX now to find out everything Dex can do to find your customers. Dex knows.
Chicago 6, the Rockies 4, bottom of the 6th inning from High Corbett Field in Tucson. Rockies will have Ian Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, and Chris Iannetta. Time now for the road ahead for the Rockies, brought to you by E470. Save time and money on E470 with Express Toll. Tomorrow, the Rockies will be in Phoenix to take on Oakland. And then Monday, they're home on FSN, date with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then Tuesday, they'll be back up in the Phoenix area taking on Ozzie Guillen's White Sox. Ryan Dempster continues on. And this ball is chopped foul. Come on now. Stewart is 0 for 1 in a walk. Stole a base and scored a run in the 4th inning. Came around on a Chris Iannetta base hit. Stewart, again, working in the offseason in Asheville, North Carolina with his father-in-law. He knows a thing or two about baseball.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very good. Of course, his dad is a skipper for the Rockies of the Asheville Tourists.
9th season starting this year down there.
His father-in-law, I should say.
Yep, father-in-law.
Joe Michaluk.
See, everybody's excited. My son Parker has an opportunity maybe to go to Asheville, to go to Savannah, because it's the most haunted city in America.
You would know that sort of.
Well, K's huge into the haunted thing.
Savannah's pretty town.
Taps. You ever watch Taps?
The movie years ago?
No.
Oh,
Taps is
the show.
Yeah, it's about paranormal state things.
Missed it.
Okay.
Change-ups down low, 1 and 2. Savannah's a beautiful town.
Yeah, Asheville's gorgeous.
You know what? Mick's going to have a really nice team there in Asheville again.
Should have.
He traditionally does.
Should have a very good ball club there. Good defensive, solid pitching.
And Stewart doesn't only work with Mick on baseball-related stuff. He lifts with him.
Mick's in good shape.
Yeah, Mick's in real good shape. Now it's full on Ian Stewart. And Joe, by the way, will be entering his 10th year as the manager of the Asheville Tourists.
More wins than anybody else, if I'm not mistaken, there in Asheville. We're like 400 wins, 500.
Last year they went 83 and 56.
What a pitching staff they had with Connor Graham.
This ball left center field's got to get down, and it will. It's going to roll to the wall. Extra bases for Ian Stewart. He's around second. He'll shut it down there. So an opposite field double for Stewart. One of the things he is focused on is letting the ball travel, George, taking the ball the other way.
You know, the big thing about him, a lot of thunder in his bat to all fields. I mean, that's one thing, take advantage of that thunder. This ball's hit, started out because it's a left-handed swing. You're going to see tail on this baseball. Very short, very quick to the baseball with a great extension. The ball started out dead center and trailed because of the rotation of the baseball out into the gap. Hit very well.
That'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy came up with Stewart at second a couple of innings ago, and he moved him to third with a drag bunt that Mike Fontenot made a great play on to throw out Tulowitzki. See how Troy handles the bat here. It's 0-1. Trying to push it to the right side. A casual observer, George, would say, oh, late swing there. That's done with purpose.
Yep, doing exactly what he's wanting to do. It's nobody out, runner in scoring position. Try to drive the ball to the right side. Advance the runner, get lucky, might get it in the hole, get a run.
4 in the air. This is going to get it done. Yep. Stewart tagging. Reed Johnson with the baseball. Johnson, pretty good hose. Wow. That was impressive. I didn't know he threw that well.
I mean, in center field, you never see the arm that well. And to be honest with you, that had a little bit of a hand grenade approach. It was a very high throw, but it was yet on the money and had enough velocity behind it. It caught a little bit of Ian Stewart by surprise as he went into third base, standing up, no slide. See the ball come over there, and then he positioned himself to where he could really air it out. And he did air it out, and very accurate, right on the money, chest high, and the tag applied.
Two outs. Chris Ionetta at the plate, an RBI single last time. And he goes the opposite way. Reed Johnson is right there. So it turns into a 1-2-3 inning despite the leadoff double by Ian Stewart. Cubs 6, Rockies 4. To the 7th we go.
My dad taught me practice makes perfect. My dad taught me to tie my shoes. My dad taught me how to keep the monsters away.
Be there for your kids. It matters. For more information, visit coloradodads.com.
The Ford Quality Drive is here, and when people find quality they believe in, they like to talk about it.
I think I made a very smart decision in choosing the Edge. The Escape definitely represents quality. You get into the Fusion and it drives really smooth. I'm very satisfied with the quality of my Focus. Once I got in and drove it, I was just like, wow.
Ford's quality is unsurpassed by Honda or Toyota. So, drive quality and drive one.
Now get 0% financing for 72 months on Fusion, plus a no-charge 2-year, 25,000-mile premium maintenance plan on all new Ford vehicles.
King Soopers has been making a difference in your neighborhood for over 60 years because we know what it means to be a good neighbor. It means being involved, helping those in need. It means looking out for one another. That's why we support causes like breast cancer awareness, Food Bank of the Rockies, Children's Hospital, and the Salvation Army, just to name a few. King Soopers, doing our part to be a good neighbor.
This year, catch all the Rockies games on FSN Rocky Mountain. In an opening day preview, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies look to down the division rival Diamondbacks. See if Brad Hupp's bat stays hot as opening day approaches. Monday at 2 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Cubs 6, Rockies 4. Drew Goodman, George Frazier on the stairs. And did you know, in our Excel Energy fun fact, that yesterday's crowd of 13,327 at the Cubs White Sox game in Glendale set a new Cactus League single game record. The old mark, 13,311, set earlier in the week, March 21st. That brought to you by Excel Energy. Joey Gaffright against Jason Grilli. Bouncing ball to Clint Barmas, one out. Let's go down the right field line. Alana Rizzo's with the starting third baseman for the Rockies, Garrett Atkins.
All right, thanks very much, Drew. Garrett, first thing I want to ask you is how you're feeling out there. Your first Major League spring training game since the 10th. How did it go?
Went all right. I made it through it. 5 innings out there on defense and played on back-to-back days, so I'm feeling pretty good.
What's the one thing that you're working on most right now? I know you're dealing with that groin strain, but what has your rehab process been like?
It was kind of boring the first week, just kind of rested, and then after that, just kind of gradually pick up baseball activity, and then, played the last 2 or 3 days. I'm going to play again tomorrow, and, we'll see how it feels, and so far, so good.
All right, last question for you real quickly, Garrett, just to talk about, your spot there at third base and just what this team is looking like in terms of the starting lineup. You guys are putting together a pretty good club.
Yeah, you got to like our lineup. It's pretty good. It's fun to watch. Once we get Hopper back, it'll be even better, and our bullpen's coming together pretty nicely, and our starting rotation is coming together too. So it's going to be an exciting year, and we're looking forward to it.
Allie, this is the last question. Just take us through the home run.
Well, it's just 3-2 count, and just sitting on fastball. He just kind of was trying to go in and kind of left out of the play just a little bit, and pretty good.
Get healthy. We're looking forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
All right. Drew, back upstairs.
All right, Alana, this is Brad Snyder at the plate, a minor leaguer, up for the day, and a broken bat roller to Todd Help, 2 outs.
Well, I want to remind the fans that the online shop of the Colorado Rockies at coloradorockies.com. You can browse the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including the clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. So get your spring training gear straight from the source. Shop at coloradorockies.com shop.
Two outs, Aaron Miles at the plate. 5th at bat for Aaron. He's got 3 hits.
Yeah, the numbers on Jason Grilly through the spring. Obviously, we talked about the classic numbers. They were pretty good. He starts to work more. It's 6th appearance for him. Earned run average up high. And you'll see that sometimes guys out of the bullpen, they get beat up one inning, maybe 2. It's very difficult to get those numbers back down when it comes to ERA.
Chopper that Barnes gets rid of quickly. Miles is erased. Good outing for Jason Grilly. Good inning, I should say. 1, 2, 3. Rockies trailing by a couple of runs. Stretch time in Tucson.
Our block certified tax professionals will do your taxes right. Last year, we found errors on 4 out of 5 returns prepared by others, saving people thousands of dollars. Already filed your taxes with someone else? Let us take a second look for just $29.
Sarah?
Here, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Zach? Hey, Dad. Big announcement. Looking over the bills, your mother and I decided to cancel cable, internet, and wireless.
What? Canceling what? But...
And bundle with Quest instead. Right, Julie?
Who's Julie? Exactly, Mr. Davis.
Act now for special introductory savings at high-speed internet and DirecTV service starting at just $29.99 more a month.
What are you waiting for?
Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
The new everyday value menu at Sonic. Got a buck? Then drive in for a variety of great food, like a Junior Candy Sundae, a Junior Deluxe Burger, or grab a Junior Breakfast Burrito for just $1. Sonic's new everyday value menu. All this for $1 each.
6-4, Chicago leading the Colorado Rockies. Time for Waste Management spring cleaning. A 3-run home run for Micah Hoffpower. The Cubs trailed 3-2 before Hoffpower went deep. They took a 5-3 lead. They enjoy a 6-4 lead right now. Former Golden Domer, 2-sport athlete Jeff Samardzija comes in. Hard-throwing, big right-hander.
Boy, you're going to see that. I mean, he comes right at you. This is a guy, Pinella. They've tried to get his delivery calmed down to where he has trust in that secondary stuff and command the strike zone because he can run some punch-outs up in a hurry.
2-0 on Clint Barmas leading off here in the 7th. And that's in there for a strike. Dexter Fowler's out on deck. Here's the numbers on the former All-American wide receiver for Notre Dame.
Yeah, big numbers, too. 19 hits given up. That's somewhat alarming. One thing they've tried to do with him, he had a long arm action when he first signed. He really extended it out. Now he's tightened that arm action up. He's starting to work on that downward plane, take advantage of his size.
Ryan Dempster goes 6 innings, gives up 4 runs on 8 hits. He walked 3, struck out 4. Wasn't a great outing for Dempster, but he got 6 innings in.
He had 6 innings in. Again, it's a serviceable type outing.
The 2-2 is in the air to right field. One out, that'll bring up Dexter Fowler. Fowler will pinch hit for Jason Grilly. Dex has come on strong the last 3 weeks. Takes a fastball at the knees at 94 for a strike. Swinging the bat with more authority from the left side.
Well, not quite as open. Hands tightened up on the bat now. You don't have a split grip up above. I mean, there's a lot of things Don Baylor's done with this player to make him a much better hitter at the plate.
Two outs, and number 19, Ryan Spilborghs will come up.
I think the one thing when you look at Samardzija, he's one of those guys that you don't question toughness. As many times he went across the middle, caught balls, did what he did, you know, wearing a football helmet, as good as he was there. So this is why, I mean, his stuff dictates the role in the bullpen. It's overpowering. Hard slider, good fastball. Can run it up 95, 96, even to 98 at times, but it's the toughness that he brings to be in tough roles to get guys out in the 7th, 8th inning.
3-1. Samardzija was a first-team All-American. He has the Notre Dame school record with 179 catches, 27 touchdowns, over 2,500 yards receiving. That's a strike.
Part of that development for him was to get rid of the football muscles. You get things loosened up in the arms, the legs, through the body because of all the lifting that you do. Explosive type muscles, the quick twitch muscles that you have to have in football. So they got rid of that part of it. And his delivery, obviously, much better command of the baseball.
Ground ball to short. Aaron Miles on 2 hops, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jeff Samardzija. We'll go to the 8-6-4 Chicago. When we come back, we'll visit with Todd Helton.
We introduced Hyundai Assurance Plus to let people know we're all in this together. If you lose your income, you can hold on to your car and we'll make your payments for 3 months. And if that's not enough time to work things out, you can still bring the car back with no impact on your credit.
Right now, buy any new Hyundai and get up to $6,000 in savings. Plus, just announced an additional $750 bonus cash. Hurry to your Colorado Hyundai dealers. This offer ends soon.
How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Got it.
Professional athletes get asked to do product endorsements a lot.
That's why I only get my wood from Tony's Lumberyard. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump up I-25. When pitchers are too hot to handle, I use Susie's Oven Mitts. Susie's Oven Mitts. Ouch.
If you Bardo, try Herbie there. It's all about picking what's right for you. Let's do this. Where's my horse?
Cubs leading 6-4 back in Tucson at High Corbett Field. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo with the Rockies perennial all-star first baseman Todd Helton as Jason Grilli continues.
Yeah, thanks so much, Drew. It's nice to see Todd out there. It's good to see you because you look like you're having a good time and you're feeling healthy. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I'm looking forward to actually getting the season started. Just go out and play, and games really don't matter. So you just go out and try to prepare yourself. Hopefully gel as a team, and hopefully we get something going starting into the season.
But it looks like you're seeing the ball well. It seems like you're swinging well. Do you feel that? Are you hesitant at all with your back? It seems like you didn't even have the injury.
No, I'm not. At this point, I'm playing. I don't really think about it, and I just have to stay loose throughout the games, and there's a little extra preparation to get ready for the game. But other than that, it's good to be out there.
What is the little extra preparation that you have been working on?
Well, I mean, it's just a bunch of exercises and just making sure I'm loose to get out there and play every day.
Do you feel like you have your pop back a little bit more power, with the bat?
I feel good. My swing feels good, and I'm able to stay on my backside a little bit more, let my hands work a little bit more. But I still got a lot of work to do, and we still have a lot of work to do as a team. But we're excited for the season start.
All right, Todd. Thanks very much. It's good to see you out there.
Thank you.
All right, Drew, back upstairs.
All right, Alana, thank you. Fly ball right field. Micah Hoffpower is retired. Too quickly out as Jason Grilli getting his second inning of work. And that'll bring up Giovanni Soto.
What's the one thing you noticed that Grilli and Rush both did?
Strike one?
Yeah, pounding the strike zone with every pitch they have. And then when they do miss, it's with a purpose of what they're trying to do. That's why you're seeing good, quick outs, quick innings.
The understated Todd Helton.
Yeah.
He's in a good place offensively. And you know what tells me that he's not thinking about the back, George, and it's not just lip service to it, telling people what they want to hear perhaps, is twice in this ball game on March 28th, he's trying to turn a single into a double.
And don't forget to play at first base. He had the ball and he dove back to get it.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that either. I mean, it's just that's farthest thing from his mind right now because he doesn't hurt the way he hurt before.
Boy, that's a good looking pitch.
Yeah, right where you want to put it. Right on the outside part of the plate. A little sink and tail to it.
Yeah, at 93, all you're going to end up with splinters. That's all you're going to get if you swing at that. This is Paul Bacco. I should have introduced him. Bacco in a battle with Coy Hill for the backup spot to Giovanni Soto. Bacco's been around the block twice, seen all the sights. Coy Hill's been around now too.
Yeah, they have.
Wichita State star.
Right. And, it's one of those guys that Hill and Bacco both are one of those type of guys that they assume the roles, they understand it. With the fact of what they were going to be there, their version of a backup for the Chicago Cubs, a lot less money-wise than it would have been to bring Henry Blanco back. It was making close to $2 million. Because let's face it, Soto's going to catch 145 games. Typically.
Yeah, he catches a bunch.
Yeah, and so now you don't need a guy. You need somebody who's going to accept that role. Somebody you can pinch hit if you had to late in the game for a pitcher. Left-handed bat gets you a hit.
And both guys have hit north of 350 this spring, Hill and Bacco. Now, at least previous resume, Hill has a little more bat and he's a switch hitter, which perhaps tilts it to his advantage, and he's 6 years younger than Bacco.
Right, and the thing that I think plays into it for Lou Piniella, just for being around Lou for 3 years as a player, is what can he do to help me win games, and can he handle the staff that one day I'm going to throw him out there a week to give Soto the day off? Is there going to be that much of a drop-off on the catch and throw side of the game?
And Lou was speaking publicly about that over the last couple of days. Yeah, he said, I like them both. And Lou doesn't say that to say that. So it's a good battle for the Cubs. Hill and Bacco. Good 2 innings of work for Jason Grilli. 6-4 Cubs, middle of 8.
Craving some green chili? Then Santiago's Mexican restaurants can help you through. Serving the best Mexican food in their very own green chili that's authentic, affordable, and always fresh. There's a reason Santiago's has grown to serve 20 locations all over Colorado. It's the best. So stop by for their breakfast burritos and dinner entrees. They promise you'll be back for their green chili. Get your fix. Hot, mild, or half and half. It's a Santiago's thing.
Opening day is going to be hot as the Rockies take on division rival Arizona in the desert.
Strike 3.
Tulo, Hall, and Cook want to taste the champagne of victory again this October. The Rockies need to start strong this year, and there's no better way than a division win on opening day.
Deep off the bat of Farmers. Did he get it? You bet he did.
Be there as the Rockies open the 2009 season in Arizona. Presented by Firestone, the tradition of innovation. Coverage begins April 6th at 12:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. By E470, save time and money on E470 with Express Toll. By the Heart and Neurovascular Center at Exempla Lutheran Medical Center, your heart's new home. And by the Colorado Division of Wildlife, keeping Colorado wild. Rockies down by a couple of runs, 6 outs to work with offensively. Seth Smith against Randy Wells here in the 8th inning.
Oh, Randy, it was a late round draft pick, 38th round back at 02 for the Chicago Cubs. Was taken in a Rule 5 draft last year by Toronto, then returned to the Cubs. Pitcher of the year in Iowa last year. 10-4, made 19 starts there. Struck out 102. Signed out of junior college.
Here's the 1-1 to Seth. And it is cued foul. Let's go down the right field line again. Alana Rizzo with Ian Stewart.
Thanks once again, Drew. Ian, it's been a long time since you played in the outfield, never in right field. So take us through how you felt out there today.
I felt fine. You know, I just approached it like, you know, working on, like I've been working in left and just going out and just having fun and just letting the game come to me.
You know, so many of you guys have told me that this has been a very long spring training. I know it has been longer than normal because of the World Baseball Classic, but what have you gotten out of it this year?
I think it's just more time to work on things, to get yourself straightened out, get ready for the season, and now it's coming to an end. It feels like it's flown by, actually.
You know, you guys have a good problem in having so much talent on this roster. Where do you see yourself fitting in this season?
You know, working at a lot of different positions. I feel like, you know, maybe a guy that can play, you know, 4 or 5 times a week. Just, you know, put me at second, third, left, right, wherever, you know, if the guy needs a day off or, you know, if Todd needs a rest, you know, just being able to go out and play and hopefully get my bat in the lineup as many times as I can.
All right, personal question for Ian Stewart. I know you had a big offseason. Why don't you tell the fans at home about it?
Yeah, well, me and my wife found out we're expecting a baby at the end of the year in September. So we're looking forward to that and then looking forward to a nice offseason.
All right, a big baby boom for the Colorado Rockies. Everybody around here seems to be pregnant. Ian Stewart, enjoy the season. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, Drew, back upstairs.
Isn't that the truth, Alana? There will be more future Rockies in the fold as this season moves along. Christian Colonel is now in the ballgame at first base. He's hitting after that triple by Seth Smith. So Smith a double earlier and a triple there, showing good wheels. Christian Colonel had a huge day up in Peoria yesterday. First time up, George, saw one pitch with the bases loaded and crunched it over the left field wall, grand slam. Wouldn't you know it, 2 innings later he comes up, bases jacked again. First pitch, he hits 405 feet to the center field wall for a sac fly. Almost hit back-to-back slams.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, aren't you, when the base is loaded?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, when I watch Colonel, and he's behind 0-2 here.
And he smokes one up the middle on an 0-2 delivery from Randy Wells. It's now a 1-run game as Smith touches home plate, 6-5. He's had a great spring.
He has. I mean, this is a guy that can play all 8 positions in the field. He can catch folks, and it's hard to find guys like this. But to me, Christian Colonel is a professional hitter. On an 0-2 pitch here, not trying to be defensive at all. I mean, he just took a hack on a baseball away from him, drove it right back up the middle. With the 2-run ball game, they had the infield back hoping to get an out. This is a base hit right back up the middle for Christian Colonel, and another RBI, which pushes his lead a little higher on this ball club for spring training.
Hibbs 2 ribbies in front of Ryan Spilborghs. Jeff Baker will take his first at bat. Came into third an inning and a half ago. Colonel is very versatile. Picked up the tools of ignorance, what, a year or so ago, George?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that just wants to get to the big leagues. He's just a fun guy to watch play the game.
Jeff Baker earlier in the week at Tempe Diablo against the Angels had himself a nice ball game. 4 for 4, including 2 home runs. He can do that.
He can put a charge in a baseball, there's no question.
And this ball is lashed to right for a base hit. First and second, 3 straight hits, nobody out, tying run in scoring position as Matt Merton will come to bat. He's in the ball game now for Ian Stewart. Challenging for one of the extra outfield spots. Former Chicago Cub, well thought of Cub, the 4th outfielder. He had 13 home runs, drove in more than 60 in about a half a season worth of at bats. He was part of the Rich Harden deal to Oakland, and this is slowly hit to third. And it works as a sacrifice. Everybody moved up 90 feet, second and third, 1 out. Crowd coming to life here in Tucson. Rockies have trailed for a while in this game. Tulo at the plate. That always gets everybody fired up. And a chance with a base hit perhaps to give the Rockies the lead again. That's 3-1 early. This ball is chopped to third. They'll come home with it. Colonel's hung up. And he stayed in the rundown long enough to ensure that Baker got to third. Tulowitzki to first. First and third, 2 outs now. With Chris Ionette at the plate, look again.
Well, and I watched Richie Dyer prior to this. He's got his hands going like, hey, we're moving. We're on the move. And he's telling everybody to go. When the ball's hit, we're going on contact. They're behind. But with the third baseman that tight to the bag, I didn't anticipate him to go that quick. See, he's dead even with a bag right here. So shorter distance for him to get the ball to the plate when it was hit. Colonel took off, and then pretty easy to record that second out. Now you got runners first and third. Trammell went to the mound to have a conversation with his young pitcher.
It's one of the toughest things, George, wouldn't you agree, for a hitter? Late in the ball game, RBI situation, and you're an aggressive guy anyhow like Tulowitzki, to be a little bit more patient.
Well, and I think that's where, earlier when he had the big year, had 99 RBIs and 24 home runs. A lot of times he got pitches to hit because they're too worried about everybody else up and down the lineup. And he was able to make solid contact, hit a lot of balls out of the ballpark. I remember Don Baylor always making comments. I used to like to sit around and talk to the very good hitters, very good situational hitters late in games. And that's when his strike zone became even more defined. If you give me a ball middle half in and down, I'm going to drive it. I'm going to do something with it. But if that ball happens to be in a little bit or up or away from me, then I'm going to pass on it until you make that mistake in that at bat. I'm going to hurt you with it.
Iannetta, an RBI single in the fourth, 1 for 3. Runner going, fouled off. 1 and 2. Iannetta hit .462 for Team USA. That led them. Also walked, I believe, 4 times for Team USA. Demonstrating he belonged with some of the best players in the game. Great experience for Chris, and a deserved experience for him.
No question.
One and 2. Baker's at third base. Tulowitzki at first. 6-5 Chicago. Cubs won the only other contest of the year. 9-4. Rockies will open up Wrigley Field as we discussed earlier. It's a 2-game set. And then the Cubs in August will come to Coors Field for 4. That'll be a blast. Wells misses there. Cubs, George, are going to open the new Yankee Stadium. The games won't count, but they're going to be there the next weekend prior to the start of the season for a 2-game set against the Yankees in their brand new ballpark for what, $1.4 billion.
You start to look around at that travel a little bit. How much fun is that going to be? A Friday-Saturday game at Yankee Stadium and travel all day to Houston. They open the season on Monday. Then they travel back to Milwaukee and then open up against Colorado on the 13th of April.
Yeah, there
so
were
a lot of travel being made there, but yet 2 storied franchises going to Yankee Stadium
to 2-2. Inside 3-2 on Iannetta.
Hey, go to bat for your community and get free Rockies tickets this season. A Colorado Rockies home run for the homeless will be Sunday, May 3rd. For information, call 303-312-2411 and register in person at any of the Rockies dugout stores beginning on opening day, April the 10th.
Tulowitzki will be off with the pitch. And Iannetta pulls one foul. The inning began with a Seth Smith triple to right center field. He came around on a base hit by Christian Colonel on an 0-2 pitch. Iannetta leans on one, left field and deep. Did he get enough? Yep. 3-run jack, Chris Iannetta. Rockies on top, 8-6. How about that for an at-bat?
Tinley fought off an awful lot of sliders, sinkers down and in. He tried to go different avenues to conquer Chris Iannetta, and he gets the last laugh with a 3-run home run to put the Rockies on top. There again, look at that slider just stayed up into the strike zone for the entire flight of the baseball. Never got good extension on it. Chris with a great upper body strength just smoked this ball out of the ballpark.
You know, there's always concern when you have a guy. There's an opposite field knock for Clint Barnes. There's always concern, George, when you have guys who participate in the WBC. You know, will they get enough at bats? Will they get enough game time prior to the start of the season? Well, for Chris Iannetta, not a lot of concerns.
Well, no, there's not. I mean, particularly what he did while he was at the Classic. You mentioned it, 462, highest average on that ball club. There were some pretty good hitters on that club. Well, Alan Trammell doing something he didn't hope he wouldn't have to do in the 8th inning. He's going to have to go down to the bullpen and get some help to try to get this 8th inning over with.
So the Rockies have rallied for 4 here in the 8th, leading 8-6. Pitching change for the Cubs. Iannetta will put the gear on. We'll step aside.
Members of the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors. The right choice on your next small, medium, or large-scale project. Providing the value of getting the job done right the first time. Our drug and alcohol-free workforces are highly trained to meet the challenges required in today's building industry, including the latest in green building techniques. You can count on our members to deliver the peace of mind you need and deserve for your next project. To get the job done right the first time, see our list of contractors at mpccolorado.org.
Office Liquidators has Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices on new and used office furniture.
Office Liquidators is your source for top-quality bank office furniture at a fraction of the new cost. Need a file? Office Liquidators has miles of files for any budget. Get a money-saving coupon at OfficeLiquidators.com and save even more.
Office Liquidators, making a difference since 1985, proudly sponsors the Allie Meyer Foundation, benefiting Children's Hospital.
Dear PlayStation, MLB 09 The Show thinks I can't hit the high and inside fastball. You're going to fix that, right?
Well, Dustin, PlayStation gamers demand the most realistic baseball game ever, so we're just going to keep it as is. It's called integrity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just polishing my MVP trophy. How many MVPs do you know that can't hit that pitch?
Apart from you?
MLB 09 The Show, the most realistic baseball game ever. Rated E for everyone.
George, I've been saying this for years. You got to have heart.
You got to have hot.
Or Kevin Hart.
You used to say hot.
Hot. That's when I was back home. Kevin Hart with 2 outs. Barmes at first. Dexter Fowler at the plate.
Hart pitched in 27 ball games for the Chicago Cubs a year ago.
Got a good arm.
Yeah, got a very good arm. See what he's done this spring. 6 earned run average, 14 strikeouts, 6 hits given up. 10th appearance for him. I think the one thing that the longer spring training has created is, boy, nice at bat. Ball in on the fist, fought it off, put it in the hole. Good job by Dexter. It does allow you to get more appearances in, more innings. Guys that went to the Classic. Opens up avenues for other pitchers that are in your camp to get into ball games maybe normally wouldn't be there. Get a bigger amount of innings thrown for them, I should say.
2 on for Spilborghs. Rockies 8 runs, 13 hits. No cheapies either.
No cheapies whatsoever. They have scalded the ball.
Atkins has hit a home run. Iannetta a few minutes ago hit a 3-run home run. Todd Helton came within about 2 feet of hitting a home run earlier in the ball game. Barmes and Fowler aboard. 2-0, and this ball's hit well to right field. Off the wall. 2 runs will score. Spilborghs around second. He's hunting a triple. 3 bags for Ryan Spilborghs. 2 more RBIs this spring. And the Rockies have blown it wide open. It's 10-6. We talked about Ryan Spilborgh's opposite field power at the very top of the broadcast today, George.
There's no question. That's where his power is, into right field, right center field. Turned into somewhat of a poor outing by Jimenez turns into a positive for the Rockies with the relief coming in and shutting the door on the Cubs and allow the offense to kick in. And boy, is it kicked in. 10 runs on 13 hits.
And Seth Smith will probably be wearing one of those ankle protectors tomorrow.
Former Rocky David Patton warming up in the Cubs bullpen right now. He was a Rule 5 selection out of their the Rockies system. He's had a very good spring.
Time for our Quest in-game box. Billboards now 1 for 4 with the 2-run triple. Smith a double and a triple. He's at the plate for the second time in the inning. Todd Helton was terrific before departing. Atkins hit the ball deep today. Stewart had a double. Stolen base. Everybody's been out there involved. I'm telling you, it's going to be an exciting lineup. I know much of the focus during the offseason on the departure of Matt Holliday, and you never want to lose somebody with Matt's talent. The Rockies have a deep lineup, and they have versatility off the bench. I mean, Clint can sit some guys down and not lose a great deal.
That is one of the positives of this bench. You have not just a hitter, but a guy that can play a position, add some speed in the lineup late in the games.
This ball's assaulted, foul. I think, you know what, that bounced off with Parker Frazier's locker in the minor league clubhouse.
There's a lot of thunder through this lineup. That's what I like about it. And I think that at any time you can see this type of an explosion you've seen here in the 8th, and that's 6 runs. There is the minor league hall down here, as they like to call it. The Taj Mahal.
This could be trouble. This is shallow center field, and it will be gathered in. Final out of the inning. The Rockies produce 6 runs in the inning. Chris Iannetta, a 3-run blast. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Rockies.
You know, Dex, you and I are a lot alike.
How so?
Well, I help people find things in places they never thought of looking.
I help businesses find customers in places they never thought they'd reach.
I find them in cracks, crevices.
I find them through my print directories, online at dexknows.com, even on huge search sites.
Once I find them,
you track and manage the data for even greater results?
Something like that.
Call 877-4DEX now to find out everything Dex can do to find your customers. Dex knows.
The Ring of Fire returns with Judgment Day. 13 extreme cage fights, 4 title bouts, 1 ultimate night. Featuring undefeated heavyweight Brendan Shaw, knockout artist Brandon Ruckus Thatch, and UFC veterans Luke Little Hulk Cadillo, Mike Nichols, and Alvin Ken Robinson. Tickets available at the Event Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Ring of Fire 34, Judgment Day. Don't miss it.
People who book with Hotels.com are used to special treatment. They enjoy being pampered and indulged. Or in some cases, grossly overindulged. So we designed a rewards program that meets those high expectations. It's called Welcome Rewards. Book 10 nights wherever you want, even in different hotels, and get a free night. Welcome Rewards from Hotels.com. It's not special treatment for your jacket. It's special treatment for your wallet.
This year, catch all the Rockies games on FSN Rocky Mountain. In an opening day preview, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies look to down the division rival Diamondbacks. See if Brad Hupp's bat stays hot as opening day approaches. Monday at 2 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Number 16, Houston.
The Rockies ahead of the Cubs now 10-6, trying to produce the final 3 outs and get themselves a spring training W. Today's Amco clutch play. The 3-run home run off the bat of Chris Iannetta last half inning after fouling off several 3-2 offerings. Taking the Rockies from behind and putting them out in front. And now Iannetta will handle Houston straight in the 9th inning. Reed Johnson at the plate, and Street touches the outside corner at 90.
Well, the Cub fans have come alive. Let's go Cubbies. It's a little late.
Street, by and large, this spring has been very good. touch for a run on Monday against Milwaukee. He's bounced back since then with a couple of clean outings. Forget the ERA. ERA in spring training doesn't mean a lot, especially for a reliever.
Well, it's hard.
Well, you have one bad outing and it's going to blow it up.
It will blow it up and do it in a hurry.
Last year, and really throughout his big league career with Oakland, he's averaged close to a strikeout an inning. Dexter Fowler's out in center, waiting.
Second baseman number 59, Andres Blanco.
One out, Andres Blanco will take his turn. Blanco is 0 for 4. We'll be on the air again Monday with the Arizona Diamondbacks coming across town to play the Rockies. Then we'll have the 2 ball games from Las Vegas against the Mariners next Friday night, Saturday afternoon, before the Rockies head back to the Phoenix area to prepare for the opener against the D-backs.
Now, regardless of what team or what level you're at, it's when those final cuts get made, you know exactly who guys are, because you lose a lot of friends that maybe you thought were going to be on the ball club that aren't there. When that final club gets set, typically that'll be on the weekend. You may take some extra pitchers with you. Sometimes it takes all the way up to that last minute before opening day, but you know who that core of guys are, and it seems to kind of unite and get ready, man. I mean, it's opening day. It's time. I'm not going 7 or 5 anymore. I'm going 9. And, the anticipation of a year going in of what kind of club you're going to have. Are you going to be able to be a club that can win?
No 2 pitch. Blanco.
That didn't feel very good.
He gets plunked right behind the knee.
Yeah, you know, it always hurts. You know, when you get hit in the back of the thigh or the knee in that area, it's just not a lot of fun. Not something you want to do either when you're leading by 4 runs. 1 out and 0-2 count.
Yeah, there aren't many places you get hit and you go, oh, that felt good.
Well, no, but I mean, you know, you can take one in the backside sometimes. Doesn't hurt nearly as bad as that right there. I mean, it's just not a lot of meat. Kind of unique. He caught the ball, picked it up, and hands it to Iannetta.
Joey Gathright takes a strike. Joey 0 for 3 and a walk. Robbed of a hit by Troy Tulowitzki. Bounced one in the hole between short and third in the 4th inning. And Gathright can run. Tulo threw him out. Runner going. Best defensive play we've seen today. We've seen Tulo do that so many times. It becomes almost a commonplace. No balls, 2 strikes on Gathright. Sellout crowd at High Corbett Field today for the Cubs. Some got themselves out of the sun. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Rick Reed rings up Joey Gathright, out number 2 in the 9th.
Hey, when you have the ability to do this, obviously it's going to help you, because it's a late tailing fastball. He basically threw it to left-handed hitter because he's crowding the plate anyway. You have that little late sail and sink to the baseball. And, again, when you square up and hit the center of your catcher, even if it's off the plate a little bit, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get the call. And they did, the punch out.
Esteban Herman will hit for the first time. Runner going. Rockies don't have a whole lot of interest in that. So Blanco to second.
See, now it's not so much that he's picking on him with the sliders because they're nasty. They're good pitches. It's just the inning's been pretty short and he hadn't got to use one. So let's go ahead and throw a couple of sliders. Let's throw 3 or 4 sliders in a row and get a punch out with him, because it's something he's trying to work on here when he came into the ball game. 2 in a row, swing and a miss. Here's another hard slider out of the strike zone. 83 miles an hour.
Well, whether it is Houston Street or Manny Corpus, the other guy will pitch the 8th inning, especially in the absence of Rockies' 8th inning man a year ago, at least till May. That pitch just missed. Taylor Buchholz out with an elbow issue till first part of May, at least. That's inside. 2-2. Actually, let me correct that. It's out full now. 3-2. Esteban Herman. And he hits it in the air to right field. And there's your ball game. Rockies come from behind, knock off the Cubs in front of a full house today in Tucson. 10-6 the final. The only dark side of this ball game, a rough outing for the Rockies starter Ubaldo Jimenez, who really struggled with his control. Walked 6, hit a batter in 4 innings, and gave up 5 runs. Today's Job Done Right Player of the Game is presented by the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors. Chris Ionette, a couple of hits, including a 3-run go-ahead 8th inning home run, 4 ribbies for the Rockies starting backstop. Congratulations to Chris. To have your next building project done right the first time, visit mpccolorado.org.
I'd like to see that out of Ionetta. I'd love to see the aggressiveness was helping the defense today, and the work of the bullpen was outstanding.
Yep, Houston Street looked good in the 9th inning. 2 good innings, George, from Jason Grilli. And everybody swung the bat offensively.
Yeah, they did. Everybody swung the bat extremely well. Yeah, guys came off the bench with some big base hits. Nice win.
Very nice. For George Frazier, Alana Rizzo, and our entire crew, Drew Goodman saying so long from Tucson. Make sure you join us Monday afternoon at 2 in the Mountain Time Zone for more spring training baseball as the Rockies entertain the Arizona Diamondbacks from right here at High Court. But again, the Rockies win it this afternoon over the Cubs, 10-6. This has been a presentation of FSN Rocky Mountain, your home for the Colorado Rockies all season long.